Look at these mugs, the New American Media. If you want one, shoot me a Venmo. $40 includes shipping. Broadcasting to you live from the Orion. Oh, by the way, includes your address. It's not a perfect system, but it's the one we have. Broadcasting to you live from the Orion spiral arm of the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, somewhere outside of the attack on Cuba. My name is Brian Engelman. Today is the second to last day of the month of February in the year of 2026. My name is Brian Engelman, and you are watching us on, oh, doggone it, the chat's on the screen. It was supposed to be off so I can do the snap. There we go. The TNAM Daily Show here on the New American Media. We're talking about the Americans that took a boat to Cuba and started shooting at them. What? We're going to talk about a former Air Force pilot who has been training Chinese pilots. This is not good. We're going to discuss why leader John Thune, he's no leader. He needs to be replaced. What is taking so long? We are burning daylight. I am done. I'm done waiting. I'm done with all of it. Get to it. Let's get to work. We're burning daylight, people. See, in this, it gets super loud. I had the volume all the way off until I click play, and then it yells at me. Thanks, Jamie, for not setting up the chat properly and not setting up the volume properly on the playback. By the way, I'm Jamie. Yeah, my kingdom for a producer, engineer, booker. But I digress. Thank you all for being here. There's so many stories. The U.S. birth rates are at a critical mass low. This country has just been poisoned. Women were convinced you need to get out of the home and stop participating in the creation of families so that you can go work for pennies on the dollar. What? I wouldn't work if I didn't have to. Traditionally, the women raise the kids, teach them right from wrong, help with the housework, learn competency. Two humans get together, have some children, and you kind of teach them the ways of the world. Instead, women were sold just a bill of goods to get out of the house, go work, go be a slave to some other guy. I get that having the option to work and be self-sufficient that's cool. That's awesome. But wasn't there something in between that and just shunning the nuclear family, shunning traditional values, we're machines. If we weren't meant to procreate, it wouldn't feel so damn good. We're designed to go seek that out. And the end result of that is creation of children. And there's something sacred about creating life. But women have been told, what's empowering? Destroying life, destroying your hormones with birth control pills, destroying, slicing and dicing the living creature inside of you so that we can take this flesh and feast upon it. I mean, this Epstein stuff has been demonic, vampiric, horrific. And you've all played a part in that. We've all played a part in that. Everything right now has got to be a reevaluation, a recalculation of what's important. And you wonder why 40 million illegal alien invaders with different backgrounds, different languages, different morals, different values, different ideals, different religions, non-compatible people that want to come over and dominate and bring their bullshit with them and try to impose that on you. By the way, ladies, we're talking about Sharia. We've ended up in a very strange spot, and the population rate of this country has plummeted to danger, blinking red light danger levels. What do we do with that now? I don't know. Maybe go out and have some kids, but you know what? 1913, the Federal Reserve said, hey, we're a private banking cartel. I know how you used to make your own money. We're going to do that now, and we're going to give it to you. Wait, we're going to loan it to you. And we're going to add interest so you can never pay us back and you'll be our slave. It's about slavery versus freedom. And suffrage was sold as, well, the women need the right to vote, and it's you break free and have your freedom. Do you feel free? Or do you feel like you're the indentured servant here working for pennies? Only 73 cents on the dollar for every dollar a man makes. And by the way, those statistics are bullshit. They're not comparing apples to apples. They're not measuring the same jobs. They're not measuring the same years invested. They're not measuring the same credentials. That's always been a lie, because if it was 70%, you'd get a 30% discount for every woman. No men would be hired. By the way, there's a story in Philadelphia. Did I share that? I want to make sure that's in the stack. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up button. The city of Philadelphia is being sued. Class action lawsuit because they're not promoting white men. You know that thing that they say is never happening? Guess what? It's happening again. And it's been happening for 40 years. This whole country has been driven off-road into a really strange place. Some oppression is fine. Some indentured servitude / slavery is fine. Let's import 40 million illegal aliens who have clashing ideologies, can't speak or read the language, are abusing and killing our American citizens, taking American jobs. But you know what? You get to lower the wages because, we need those indentured servants. We need our slaves, say the Democrats and the globalists. No, we don't, says I, says MAGA, says normal people, says 80% of the country. But they are sort of right. If we're not going to have any babies, who's going to operate the machines? Well, that's interesting because they're saying AI is going to take 80% of the low and mid-level white-collar jobs. I guess you're not going to need all those jobs. So then why are we importing these people who aren't going to have those jobs to work? None of it makes any sense. The puzzle pieces don't connect. It's a hodgepodge of awful ideas for awful reasons. It's all kind of connected. It's all kind of connected. We might be able to get some of this on track if we pass the Save America Act, which will ensure that only American citizens are able to vote in our elections. A massive fraud, waste, and abuse situation is, from Dearborn to Minneapolis to Los Angeles to Philadelphia. Throw a dart at any area that's controlled by Democrat globalists. Big city centers, they have mastered the art of creating votes, creating ballots, mail in, and then the post office endorses one of the major candidates in 2024. Are you kidding me? You cannot endorse a candidate if you're going to be delivering votes for both candidates. You cannot do it. Everything's backward, but leader John Thune is having a dog party, parading some dogs around. Hey, look at this, people. You need 50 plus 1. Get it done. Do some sort of no confidence. What will it take to remove Mitch McConnell from office? He can't speak. He can't walk. He can't function. And his aides are voting against the Save America Act. Get him out of office. John Thune, remove him from the leadership position immediately. I think it only takes 5 votes. Unless the whole system is just so fat and happy, selling out America, selling out humanity for that nature, as long as they personally get rich, as long as their family members on their NGO boards get rich. That's what it means to sell out your soul. That's what it means to essentially go to hell. You've sold out humanity for 40 pieces of silver. You're a Judas. You're a turncoat. You're a fucking traitor. Congress is full of problems. The political ideologies that preach one thing, but they're actually shackles. Oh, get your freedom, get your freedom. Nope, shackles. Families are bad, independence. Just go around sleeping with everyone. No repercussions, no problems. Abortions for all. Abortions for you, abortions for you. Birth control for you, birth control for you. We've been on this path for decades. The eugenicists have taken us there. I was listening to Steven Crowder talking about this at the top of his show. So it's sort of front and center, but it pairs nicely. If you have a nice wine, you go, this pairs nicely with this filet. Oh, oh, this whitefish pairs nicely with this white wine. And I've never really bought into that red meat, red wine, white fish, white wine. It might be the case, but it doesn't have to be that way. It could also be 100 other things, of course. So we got a lot of stories to get to. Hit the thumbs up button, hit subscribe. Make sure that you are following us in all the places. Of course, Patreon, we have our free account. Everybody take 2 minutes, go to patreon.com/the New American Media or type the New American Media in and sign up for our free Patreon. Everybody should be on the free version. And if you like what we do here, first time in and you enjoy it, or if you're a regular who's never supported, please consider becoming a patron. We post twice a month, $5 a post. It's a $10 monthly commitment. We also have $100, $1,000 monthly options there. You can also become a subscriber on Rumble and YouTube. Please do. Thank you to everybody on Patreon, Rumble, and YouTube who are monthly members, because I know when the clock rolls into the next month, and we only have 2 days left. This is our final blitz to try to get some revenue for this month. We've surpassed our lowest month, but we're still at our second lowest. We'd like to get at least to the third lowest, try to boost it up a little bit. Thank you to everybody. But yeah, like clockwork, we know what to expect. We have Rumble rant tips and super chat tips on Rumble and YouTube. Those are fantastic. You guys are gracious. It's all appreciated. And it all goes right from your hand to paying a bill that needs to be paid. Like it's not Scrooge McDuck tossing another coin into a swimming pool full of coins, spitting out a stream of gold coins. It's paying bills that need to be paid. And when, you put the full-time energy into delivering this program, there's overhead and there's operating expenses. So thank you to everybody who tips, and thank you to everybody who signs up for a monthly. 3 other places, all scrolling at the bottom of your screen: Venmo and Cash App. It's my name, Brian Engelman, spelled out at the bottom, Engelman. And then PayPal, fuzzinstallment@yahoo. But additionally, I want to make sure you are watching us in the places. The New American Media has a Facebook group. You can also find the Agree to Disagree show. It's a group. It has the New American Media page and then the Agree to Disagree show group. The New American Media is on Truth Social, Rumble, Odyssey, Twitch, Kick, DLive, Locals, and YouTube under the New American Media. Telegram and Signal at TNAM and TNAM Chat, all scrolling at the bottom of the screen. And please subscribe to our podcast, The Agree to Disagree Show, on Spotify and Apple. Those are the places to stay connected. But especially important that we get every one of you to subscribe. I've noticed, was that Trash Panda was out there. I love how that phrase and that joke is stuck. I love how I get to say it so many times. But yeah, we say we're a bunch of trash pandas here. We're raccoons knocking over cans of rubbish. We're digging through bags of disgusting baby diapers. And then we're going, oh my gosh, this is new old stock. These are brand new products in this other bag. I want to take that. There's good stuff here. Oh my gosh, there's fresh produce in this bag. This isn't trash. This is usable. Going through the news each day feels like you're a trash panda. You're going, ugh, I can't believe I had to just cover that terrible Epstein story. Then you go, oh my gosh, look at this self-defense story. That's a lesson. Look at that. The good guy finally won. Hey, we need more of that. It's a teachable moment. And we get to encourage that. So, yeah, I have noticed Trash Panda over on the Instagram page hitting some likes on some comments and dropping a couple of phrases and some comments. Just add some thoughts, add some comments, just like you do onto this show. We'll bring up the comments after our intro. We are looking to expand that Instagram page, and I believe we can go live with we need 20 something more subscriptions. So everybody, please smash the follow button on Instagram, The New American Media. We've done thousands of posts, and a lot of the content that you see on this show, we share it each day, and it'll be at the little top. You can scroll through and watch the stories before we get a chance to unpack them live on the show. The show is live every day, noon, Monday through Friday, Eastern Standard Time, at least for now. That may change to an earlier morning show or an evening show. We'll see how it goes. But for now, it's at noon. And then, of course, we do the other half of our content on X. Make sure you're following us at American_media_. All those places, how you stay connected with the New American Media, because the old American Media failed you. So without further ado, today's program starts right now.
TNAMmedia.com.
So essentially on the TNAM Daily Show, we do the scrolling with you. The doom scrolling comes with a side of laughter, a little bit of righteous indignation, some rants, some insight, some ramblings. They call it a weave. A lot of people say perhaps nobody does the weave better than me. But I will weave together some tangentalness. Oh, that's so gentle. Gentle Ben. I will take some stuff and try to be unique, original, transformative commentary for you on the program. So thanks for being here, everybody. Let's pull you up onto the screen, hit you in chat. Good morning, everyone. Lake Leon says, I see smoking around in the near future. Yeah. You know what? You have just reminded me I need to send this text because I'm trying to book this show. Send schedule updates in our group text to book the Iran show. Okay. Deep breaths and fresh air, everybody. I am trying to book a show, Lake Leon. I got two great guests. One that'll give you a political insight because his family has ties there. I think I don't know his exact age, 50 or 60 or something, maybe. Something in that range. And then his father was a key player in the Iranian government. And so he can't stand the Islamic supremacist regime that took over and conquered the Christian Persia. Remember Constantinople, remember some, hang on, let me get the list. Let me ask Grok. List of Christian nations overthrown by Islamic supremacists in the last 100 years. TLDR. Too long didn't read version. He can't stand the Islamic supremacists that stole that country and ran it into the ground. Lebanon, Egypt, Syria, Turkey, Algeria. No, come on, Grok, give me the list. It's acting up, making it complicated. Oh my God. Turkey, Cyprus, Iraq, Syria, Egypt, Sudan, Lebanon. Keep going. Give the full list. Point is, there were crusades before to repel this stuff. The supremacists that want to come in and force their Sharia upon you. We're talking about women's rights. You better be aware of how they view you as property. And America has to draw some really clear lines in the sand, what we are and what we are not. Now, I'm not advocating in any stretch. Let me be crystal clear. I don't want women barefoot, pregnant, and hopeless, helpless, getting abused and beaten at home. There are these sob stories that you hear when you hear about the feminist movement. And while there are cases of plenty that they will use, whenever you bring up an abortion conversation, they'll say, well, what if you're raped by a family member? That's called incest. We know. Well, what about that? And it leads to what if the life of the mother is in danger? Yeah. Okay. So we're at 1%, 2%, 3% of the cases we're talking about here. Because most abortions are just like, oh, this is inconvenient. Let's kill it. And you go, ugh. Oh. It's sort of a red herring. They'll bring it up and go, well, my grandmother, and that might be true, was beaten by an alcoholic grandfather, and you go, yeah, that's awful. And she had no ability to work and pay for it, so she had to just suffer that abuse. Yeah, like being a piece of property, a piece of dog meat in Islam. Yet the left has cozied up over there. So it's a little interesting trying to make sense of these competing ideologies. Because with the modern left, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So you have the feminazis teaming up with the Islamo-fascists going, hey, we're best friends. LGB and all the other things, flags. Yeah, we're all on the same team. And Islam's like, yep, we're on the same team. First, let's take out the people that can actually defend this country, and we are going to mop the floor with you, useful idiots. Because it's about world conquest. That's the point of Islam. It's political ideology masquerading as a religion, as many people say. You may disagree, and you might know fantastic Muslim people, and you may know some people that don't believe any of that stuff. Well, according to their texts, maybe they're not fully practicing the faith, because essentially your goal is to go out and be warriors and kill or be killed, and it's to dominate this planet. America has to decide what we are and what we are not. Oh, yeah, we have religious freedom, unless that religious freedom says that they're going to dominate and control and take over and overthrow the Bill of Rights, our Constitution, with their Sharia. That's a non-starter. It's just you have odd alliances right now. Islam and the feminists, the feminazis, that non-compatible, oil and water. The LGB, etc., flag-waving people, they are not friends of Sharia. They are not friends to Islam. But they might trick you. You guys might march at the same rally. You might be yelling free, free Palestine. You don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. Okay. Good for you. It's better to be loud and bold than to just sit back and let the people who are educated on the issues make the decisions, right? Voting for everyone. It used to be for landowners, people who had skin in the game, they say. You can't make a bet at the poker table if you're not sitting down. If you didn't put $100 in to get that stack of chips, you don't get to bet. You don't get to win the pot. Sit on the side. That doesn't mean you deserve to be abused by the wealthy elites, the 1% twiddling their mustaches, looking through their monocle down their nose at you. Because we are the chosen ones, some would say. Or some people would say, it's the New World Order, or it's the elites, or it's the globalists, or there's always a group. It's one big club, said George Carlin, and you ain't in it. And there's various versions of that. But we've seen the scapegoating. Men are the scapegoat, and white people are the scapegoat, and America's the scapegoat, and straight people are the scapegoat, and the nuclear family is the scapegoat. And you go, why are these all? Where did this all go bad, allegedly? And you go, oh, because they're the ones putting up the resistance to your bullshit and your craziness. That's why. It's your last best line of defense, your line of pit bulls. Well, you got to start taking these pit bulls out one by one or en masse. Ban all dogs. But who's trying to ban all dogs? By the way, that's Sharia advocates. They want no more dogs. So you see the debate. Do you want Islam or dogs? You got to pick one because they're non-compatible. Maybe that'll wake up the feminazis that think they're fighting for the right side of history. Unless you want to walk your dog and not get abused by an illegal alien invader who views you as property, who doesn't understand the difference between 18 years old being the age of consent, doesn't understand the concept that you have free will and that you're not a piece of meat and that you're not to be abused. So real feminism looks a lot different than the let's kill our babies and go to work and be a slave to some other guy because it's possible that we could end up in an abusive situation and we can't be married to somebody who provides for the family. And you know what? 1913 had a big role to do with that when they took our currency, the banksters, and said, yeah, we're gonna loan you our own money back. These worthless Federal Reserve notes. No, we'll take all the gold and the real stuff. Here's some paper. Here's an IOU. How about fuck you? They've devalued our currency, 3,000%? Pick your metric. It's going down 99%. It's gone down 3,000%. Whatever metric you use, we're left with trash. We're rifling through scraps. We're the cattle. We're the useless eaters, the useless breathers, the air breathers, the mouth breathers. They hate us. So we either bend down, hold our ankles, and have a really bad time with things because we're not worthy of love, respect, freedom, or we stand, we speak, we resist. And so, yeah, Like on yesterday's show, someone came in and it's like, "Oh, you're out here begging for money." I go, "No, dude, I'm doing an ad read. I'm doing an advertisement. I do the show my own way. I'm my own producer. We haven't done sponsors for like firearms or survival food or my branded coffee or solar panels. I'm telling you about how you support me in this program because you know what? A lot of people out there that agree with me are scared to speak. You know why? Because we've been attacked, we've been maligned, we've been censored, we've been silenced, we've lost promotions, we've been fired from jobs. You're telling me you don't think I'm at least slightly unemployable because I speak my mind every fucking day? I'm slightly unemployable. So I'm sort of banking on the fact that if this resonates with you and in your current position, with your current job, with your role in society, maybe you can't be as vocal about some of these things as you would like to be without losing your pension, getting fired, getting attacked. That's where I say, help your boy. That's what it's all about. I've sort of gone down this path. Slightly unemployable at this point because I have totally normal political opinions and common sense analysis on world events. I don't think I have many irrational views on much of anything. That'd be a good question of the day. Two-parter. Question of the day. Type it in the comments, please. Is there anything I've said that you remember, or something recently, or something that was most prominent that made you go, or holy shit, that's right? Like an epiphany, like an aha moment? Can you recall anything I've said that was like an aha moment or, oh, you phrased that exactly what I was thinking? Or what is my worst take that you've heard? Worst take and best take. Type it in the comments, please. But yeah, dearly beloved, we're gathered here today to rifle through the rubbish, separating fake news from fact. Cheers, y'all. I got a whole bunch of cans of coconut milk. And so I opened a can and a can of whoop ass, and I'm putting it in with the coffee. It's interesting. It's all right. It's okay. You know, you got to go through the pantry from time to time and check expiration dates. Same goes in your life. Jobs, relationships, clutter, anything really. But that's what we do. We sift through all of this stuff. And as people keep asking, you find the best stories. Where do you get this stuff? And I'm like, I've spent a decade and a half digging in and finding reliable sources. And by the way, a share doesn't mean I agree with anything. To those of you in Rio Linda, California, a retweet does not equate to an endorsement. We talk about these. I'm liking your comments. Let me rifle through these comments and get into the news because I don't want to lose track of some of these comments you dropped here. But yes, hello everybody. Thanks for being here. Welcome, David. Thanks. Kenneth is back. Good. Kenneth, you were busy a couple days this week. I think we missed you twice or thrice this week. Thrice. Burning daylight. My God, it is my mantra. I am screaming this from the rooftops. GOP, I'm like, grab you and shake you. We are burning daylight. Get to fucking work. Get it done. The Save America Act is the most obvious piece of legislation. It's a 90-10 issue. Every non-mentally challenged person is 100% in favor of this. Oh, it might be it's going to be too expensive. I don't know how to find my birth certificate. Dude, I figured that out when I was 18, when I was 16, when I was 21, when I was 25. At various stages, you got to have your birth certificate for different things. Get your passport. Grow up. Be a big boy. You got to do it for college applications. You got to do it for marriage certificate. Get your fucking paperwork. Put it in a folder. Keep it close. Get a little safe. Keep it in a fireproof thing. Shut up. There's no. Oh, it's racist. No, it's not. There's a racism of low expectations, and the Democrats are the main purveyors of those mind-numbing intoxicants, like Mo Sizlak on The Simpsons. Excuses are mind-numbing intoxicants peddled by the Democrats. Resist, push back, clap back, laugh in their faces and say, don't vote then. What do I care? If you're so irresponsible you can't prove that you're a United States citizen, I don't want you voting. Loud and clear. Is this thing on? If you are not an adult enough to figure out how to get your documents, you don't deserve the right to vote. Of course, the number one thing we must provide in order to vote is proof that we're eligible to vote. That's on you. You want to sit this out? You sit this out. Well, it's expensive. It's $16 a year to get a fucking passport. Can you afford 4 gallons of gas? 3 cartons of grass-fed eggs? You can't find $16 a year? Then voting isn't important to you. And I don't give a shit if you can't do it. Because you know why? The enemy has let in 40 million illegal alien invaders. And by the way, that's just in the latest batch. How many have been here before this latest surge? State after state have been giving out driver's license to illegal aliens. Then you use it to get a real ID card, but you're still not a citizen. The whole fucking system is a mess. Fix it. Pass the SAVE Act. We are burning daylight. Yes, Kenneth, it's a great band name. But it's also something to just take it as a mantra. We're burning daylight. Get to work. They say make hay while the sun is shining. And the GOP and leader Thune, man, screw them. Yes, slavery versus bravery. That's nice. I like that. Slavery or bravery. Pick one. Hello, Sarah Pearson. Thanks for being here. Please hit like. Please hit subscribe. Are you following us on the program? Are you a subscriber on all of the platforms? While you're watching, please go on Instagram, follow the New American Media. On X, we're at American_media_. All of those, please. Hit us up in all those spots. You're giving 100% and some clapping. Then you must agree with something that we're saying. So the reminder that I tell all of our regulars here. Oh, you know what? I can switch it back. I had the professional version of my virtual background set to the American flags because of the State of the Union. But normally I just say I'm a bartender here. I'm Brian the bartender. Welcome. We're going to discuss all the things on the TV sets behind us. Love it or hate it, debunk it while we can. We're here to talk about it like adults. So thank you for being here. Making babies. I'll do my part, ladies. Hey, that rhymes. Kenneth is big on wordplay and rhymes. No, I didn't mean that. Did I say grass-fed eggs? Pasture-raised eggs. And I know that eggs don't eat pastures and they don't eat grass, but I mean the chickens are pasture-raised chicken eggs. Is that better? Oh my God, is it time to ditch the Mitch? Yes. Oh my God. Where can you vote for, like, if you can impeach a president for incapacity? Actually, let me ask that. I don't know the. Oh, look at this. I had to ask Grok. Most frequently cited cases and none qualify under the last 100 years. By the way, for my conquered Christian nations. And by the way, things do not get better when Christian nations are conquered, especially by Islam. They get totalitarian and abusive. That's what I'm saying. Stay tuned. As soon as I can get these two guests, we're going to have a great Iran show. A political side and then the historical religious side. We got a lot to cover. And I've been trying for weeks to get this. I just can't get both of them and me to find the right time to do this show, but stay tuned on it. Okay, so I asked Grok, and Grok is saying none of these qualified during the last 100 years. Okay, so maybe my prompt was off. I'll accept that. But transitions, downgrades from in the 20th century. Egypt until the 14th centuries, Syria, Iraq, the Assyrians, Lebanon, that was in the 1930s to 60s, Turkey, 1900s, Algeria, 7th century, Tunisia, Libya, Jordan, Morocco, Northern Cyprus, Sudan. They're aiming at America. Are you cool with that? Is it compatible? Does it align with your personal values? You let me know. I know, Sarah, I know. When I say pasture fed or pasture raised, they're out in the pasture eating bugs from the pasture. Everybody's trying to nitpick. Everyone's trying to nitpick what I'm saying about the chickens. You should only buy eggs from chickens that were pecking around in the pasture for bugs. That's what I'm saying, people. I know you know what I'm saying, but yeah, they don't eat the grass, and I know they need their protein. But yeah, they pluck all the bugs. I went and moved in Taos, New Mexico, to the Greater World Earthship community, and I worked with Michelle, and we went to all of the Earthships, and we were tending to their indoor greenhouses, and we would dig through the dirt and picking up the roly-polies, those little what are they called? Water bugs or roly-polies? And just pick them out of the soil because they'll eat too much of the food, and then dump them in a bucket. And then we'd dump the bucket for the chickens, and the chickens would go, oh, I love this. This is the best day ever. So yes, I know they're eating the bugs out of the grass, but yes. Anyway, I tried to pull up. Jamie, keep me on track. I'm running a little late because I'm having a fun time discussing all these things. And by the way, it was my prompt that was delaying the proper answer on how many conquered Christian nations have been downgraded by Sharia and into totalitarianism, because that's what the story of Iran is. Make Iran Syria again. When it was a Christian nation, it was an awesome place to be in the 70s. Look at it now. The abuse of women is just, oh. And by the way, LGB, etc. community, you don't want anything to do with these totalitarian tyrants. They want you harmed if you don't go along with their cult. We don't do that shit in America. That's not what we're about here. So Iran losing an Islamic supremacist nation that's constantly trying to gather nukes to impose their will on the rest of the world, it gets old. Now, you know what else gets old? Regime change. I don't want to end up in some forever conflict. We saw it in Iraq. We saw it in Afghanistan. I'm so sick of it. We're on year 5 of Russia, Ukraine. You can grow up. Stop this shit. I don't want this. But I also don't want any more Islamic supremacist nations threatening everybody by nuking them. You can only do that so many times before it's like, all right. And also, I get that that's what the globalists have scared you with. Got to be scared into war every single time, whether it's the Gulf of Tonkin or whether it's 9/11 or whether it's the Bay of Pigs or Pearl Harbor. I mean, the list is endless. The list is endless. You got to be scared in order to do this. All right, Jamie's telling. All right, Jamie's telling me to go back to Grok and ask for the correct prompt here. How can we remove a debilitated Mitch McConnell from office since his auto pen handlers are clearly blocking the MAGA agenda? Resignation through public pressure, internal GOP challenges. Expulsion by the Senate requires a 2/3 vote for reason like treason and corruption. God, we're so far overdue from removing many treasonous people. Not seeking re-election this year. Current term ends January 3rd. Just get him out now. Health challenges, freezing episodes. No formal constitutional or legal mechanism to forcibly remove a senator solely based on perceived debilitation or incapacity, like the 25th Amendment, which applies only to the president. You know, I don't like this thing. I don't like that Congress can stay in perpetuity, but the president only gets 2 terms. I would much rather have a 3rd President Trump term than rolling the dice on something else. Why is it that these Nancy Pelosi-esque people get to stay for 40, 50 years? Mitch McConnell. If it's good for the goose, why isn't it good for the gander? I ask you. If there's a 25th Amendment for a president, why can't we do that for a congressional member? So anyway, it doesn't look good on ditching the Mitch. Like, we just got to ride it out till January of 27. That's not good enough, because he needs to be a fucking yes vote on this. Let me ask a different question. If he resigns, Kentucky law requires, Governor Andy Beshear would call a special election to fill it. The winner of that election would serve the remainder of the term until January 27. Wait, hold on. A special election among everybody in Kentucky? I guess that would just be for people in his district or something. Because you don't want Andy Beshear putting some lefty. But then again, if you're going to have Mitch McConnell, just put a lefty in. These wolves in MAGA clothing can go to hell, because they're bringing their hell with them. They're ruining this country. The fake Republicans, the rhinos, Republican in name only. By the way, the Republicans are rife with problems. Problematic people, problematic policies, problems. MAGA gets a lot of big things right. I got plenty of beef with MAGA too. Oh yeah, you're always a cheerleader. Well, it's sort of the only administration that I've seen get a couple of things correct in my entire lifetime. So yeah, I'm hoping that directionally right administration will stay there. While we have, stay on course for sure. But yeah, so that's if he resigns. Seats up for election November 26th. The winner takes office. Daniel Cameron, Democrat Charles Booker. If he becomes fully incapacitated, I mean, we saw it with Biden, and they kept propping him up like Weekend at Bernie's. If he becomes fully incapacitated or passes away, it creates a vacancy filled by special election under Kentucky law. Okay. Well, anyway. I think we're sort of stuck with Mitch. I'd love to ditch the Mitch. Hate the Drake. All right, let's continue here. Lake Leon says, I did the Patreon monthly subscription. Thank you so much, brother. We appreciate you. To the moon and back. For real. We've built a community over here. We have a lot of fun. We unpack really difficult stuff, and we find, a lot of stories that you're not going to get if you flip on CNN or Fox or something. We'll do some of that. Okay, sorry. Now I'm sorry. Just now getting to your comments, Sarah Pearson. Hello, first time here. Welcome. We're headed in the same direction as the Islamic-controlled UK. Yeah. Blink 3 times slowly, UK, if you're okay. It's not just the UK. How about Europe? You've been conquered again in a caliphate. The Crusades. Were you taught that the Crusades were bad? Bad Christians, mean Christians, violent Christians. That was repelling an overthrow. That's a righteous fight worth having. But you were taught the opposite, weren't you? A lot of you were. I know I was. And you go, well, wait a minute. If you're on the defense and your place is being taken over, you have every right to defend yourself. Well, no. See, that's where the anti-Christians will come in, and they'll try to use your Christianity against you. And they'll say, well, no, Jesus said turn the other cheek. So, that means we get to do whatever we want all the time. So why don't you be a good Christian and let us play? And you go, nah, I'm good. Nah, I'm not playing that. If my biggest beef, if the Lord's biggest beef with me when I cross to the other side, if there is another side, if there's a Lord, if his biggest beef with me is that I fought too hard for the good guys, hey, that whole shepherds protecting your flock, I sort of took that shit seriously. I sort of put everything on the line. My time, my treasure, everything. If I do meet my maker, like I told John McAfee, if I meet my maker on the other side, I want to be able to look him in the eye and say, I tried. And I feel like I tried. I've, it's in some ways it's easy to shut your mouth, keep your head down, and just, get along. I don't want to cause any problems. Yeah, but what problems are causing your life to be shit? Stand up. Better defend yourself while you can. We are the proverbial frog in the pot, and the water is getting hotter, says Sarah Pearson. Yeah, Sarah, subscribe. Yeah, you're gonna love this show. Invite all of your friends. We need your what is the new party that formed? Restore Britain? Is it called Restore Britain? Is it Restore UK? I think it's Restore Britain party. Yeah. Please do me a favor. Share this show. Copy the link. Send it to all of your UK friends. Kenneth says, one day I'll meet my baker. Well, there are some people that say that humans were crafted. You took the mud and you baked it. You kind of you made mud people. That's not supposed to be pejorative. It's just like you grab pieces of earth and you create it. Yeah, well, where'd you get the earth to create it with? Aha! You still have a god. But yeah. Tell your friends. Share this show. Text it to your 10 smart friends, your family. Say, hey, we found someone deeply sympathetic to the cause of restoring the UK and defending yourselves from it. It's an attack. It's a war that's been foisted upon you. You didn't ask for this. The United States certainly didn't ask for Biden. 81 million totally legitimate votes. Wink, wink, middle finger, right? This is our last stop, last exit. Speak now or forever hold your peace, because you're gonna be in pieces if you don't defend yourselves. Yeah, you're the frog boiling in the hot. Excuse me. You're the frog boiling in the water. Frog in the boiling water. Frog in hot boiling water. Anyway, whatever. Welcome. Sarah smile. Yeah, that is a trash pandemonium over here. That's for sure. Yeah, Sarah, she says, thank you all for the welcome. Yeah, like I said, we're here at the bar. You stumbled in. Out of all the gin joints in all the world, you had to come stumble into mine. It's a good movie. I should rewatch it. Casablanca. Yeah, that was in World War II when people were trying to desperately escape the carnage. But there is no escape. Line in the sand has been drawn and it's behind me. I'm backed up against a wall. I didn't ask for any of this stupid shit. It's my contention that Americans, humans, demand and deserve clean, safe cities, opportunities, and to be left the fuck alone unless we are an absolute terror on society. We're not cattle. We're not debt slaves. Fuck you if that's all you look at humanity as. By the way, Sarah, hopefully I'm not pushing you away too much with this language. But when I get fired up, I grab the special crayons from the back of the 64. There's some special crayons back there, and I color with them from time to time. All right. Sarah has been watching a lot of world news, and it doesn't look good for us. Hey, you got today. You have today. If you got breath in those lungs, you got today. Gather your friends and family. Get it together. I'm telling you, there's more. I also say flee blue cities and flee blue states. Sometimes you just got to go. If it has been conquered, jump before you're targeted. I don't know what to tell you. I fled Los Angeles. I was there for a long time. And I looked around at these awful policies and I said, I can't do it anymore. I'm done. Deuces. Kenneth says the world news is only fear incorporated. Pay it no mind. Some of that is true. Sarah says, I remind myself every day not to be fearful. Joshua was told to be of good courage. Yeah, and it's not just Joshua. Let me ask. Hey, Jamie, pull this up for me. I don't have a Jamie. I'm my producer. I don't want to tell you the question. I just want to read the answer. All right. This is a common theme in the Bible. The Bible says, fear not, or do not be afraid. Oh, shit. What an interesting. I'm not super into numerology, but when the simulation winks at you, you sort of pay attention. 365 times. Exactly. One for each day of the year. What is this? It's a popular inspirational saying in Christian circles, but it's not accurate based on textual analysis across Bible translations. What are they? What's that? Oh, okay. King James has about 63 to 71 times. Most sources settle on 71. Modern translations have fewer, about 50 to 60, because the wording will vary, like do not fear or something. Do not be afraid, or close equivalents like do not fear. 70 times, 100, 150 times, broader searches. Fear not, do not fear, be not afraid, have no fear, etc. 150 times. Wider reassurances against fear, including positive commands like be strong and courageous, do not be dismayed, peace be with you. Do not fear because God is with you. That pushes it to 200 plus in some detailed lists. Even generous counts, including but don't reach 365. So about 150, 200. So they led with something that isn't true, and I wasn't asking for 365. The word fear itself appears far more often, 300 to 500, depending on translation. But many uses are positive. Fear God, meaning reverence or unrelated to encouragement. So the Bible repeatedly commands or encourages people to not fear. And if we got an eternal soul, this is just a video game we're playing. I'll see you on the other side, you know? One of the most common themes, especially in contexts where God or angels speak to humans. Genesis, Isaiah, Luke. All right. Do not fear. Do not be afraid. Be of good courage. Exactly. All right. Let me wrap up your comments and then I'll jump into the news here. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, please. Hit the copy link for the show and share the show with a friend. Consider Rumble Rants, Super Chats, and monthly subscriptions on Patreon, YouTube, and Rumble, please. All right. Lake Leon would like to purchase 4 TNAM solar panels. You're not supposed to give operational security. Operational security deems that you should not speak about what you have, but it would be a good idea to have some solar panels and a backup generator. Yeah. All right, Lake Leon, here's your challenge for the day. Come up with one post that will have as many of our TNAM Daily Show or Brian Engelman or the New American Media catchphrases as possible. The regulars here know. Like they come in, they hang out. This is lunchtime. It's lunch break. You guys hang out. We shoot the shit. We talk about what's happening. And it's a safe space where we can talk about what we feel like talking about. But yeah, we got catchphrases. Belly up to the bar. Buckle up, Buttercup. How many more of those could we find? Like Leon said, I don't know about the things you've said that made me think, or epiphanies, or things that you had bad takes on. I never listen. Es mi dia primero, he says. David's not so sure. But think about it. If something comes to you, if nothing stands out, so be it. I was just kind of curious in the moment. Sarah asked, what do we say about the State of the Union? You mean State of the Union or SCOTUS? SOTUS, State of the Union speech? Because I read it SOTU, I don't add the S, but if it's SCOTUS, SCOTUS. Anyway, it was a masterclass. It illuminated, highlighted that whole, the president asking you to reaffirm your loyalty, your fealty to the United States Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and American citizens over the invaders that the Democrats brought in, the globalists brought in. And the Democrats, for 2 minutes of standing applause, refused repeatedly to reaffirm their vow. Vote every one of those vote them all out. See, I do have the ability to edit. So I almost dropped a, well, you heard it. Masterclass. The battle lines are drawn. You have traitors. You have wolves in sheep's clothing. Every Democrat must be voted out. Every rhino, every globalist, get them out, get them out, get them out. State of the Union was awesome. But I encourage you, two different things. You could go back 3 days ago. We did a live stream for the State of the Union. So we talked about it in real time. And then the next day we unpacked it. And then, of course, we talked about it yesterday, too. But go check out some previous shows. Play them at 1.5 speed or something. Although I do kind of talk fast sometimes. I speed shows up with slow speakers, and it's you get used to it. But yeah, I mean, you can really dig through. I mean, if you go 2 times speed, you could tear through a 3-hour show in an hour and a half. But yeah, I mean, we hang out, we chop it up. I mean, I've covered a lot of stories. I've given you some highlights without actually showing you on the screen, and we haven't literally dug into the stories. But even while we've just been hanging out talking, we've they call it a weave. Mr. President, I think some of your wide weaves might be the signs of early stage dementia. Thank you, Bobby, but I'm okay. Stay in your lane. Okay, claptrap. You highlighted that. Okay, man, we got a lot of comments here. I'm gonna have to speed it up here. Yes, we know chickens and protein. They're eating the bugs. There you go. You saw in my Maha administration, myself and Mike Tyson, along with Kid Rock and the other misfit miscreants that have joined MAGA and Maha. We're just trying to tell you to eat real food. They're eating the bugs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. Real food. They're eating the bugs. Like Leon says, I watched those Earthship videos that you had. Pretty cool. Yeah. If anyone's interested in those Earthships, go back. I did some walkthroughs of the Hive, HIVE, Housing for Interns, Volunteers, and Employees, 640 acres at the Greater World Earthship community in Taos, New Mexico. I have a full documentary if I can access the files. I've been unable to unzip the files. I just haven't gotten around to it. If I had a team, I would hand them the files and go open them up, put it together. Let's do a documentary. I'm sitting on the content. Pearl Harbor's resentment against me. Nice wordplay. Yeah, China Mitch. Mitch does seem like he's compromised for sure. She's good for the goose from the right-hander. Yeah, I have an ashtray, and it's like old-timey England people with, frilly dresses and stuff, and the guy's dressed to the nines, and they're posing. And on the underside of the ashtray, it's like a bronze or something. He's got his hand up her skirt, giving her a goose. I love little collectible things like that. That was a gift. Yeah, Mitch does seem to be gone already. We just he can't talk. They're wheeling him now. It's a mess. Absolutely a mess. I mentioned biggest beef. Lake Leon says, I will not mention Big Mike. I will not bring up Big Mike. I will not say Big Mike. That'll be you on the chalkboard, like a Simpsons intro, cold intro. Cold open, rather. Oh, Sarah's in North Carolina. I thought you said in the UK, like we in the UK. Do you mean NC, North Carolina? I thought you said you're in the UK. Maybe I misunderstood. David says that was the best State of the Union, in my opinion. But of course, the Democrats had to say, man, they are struggling. They are struggling to find bad shit to nail Trump on. It's weird. Yeah, Gavin Newsom does talk slow for some people. All right. Hit the thumbs up button, hit like, hit subscribe. Let's dig into the news of the day. Make sure everyone goes to our Instagram feed and likes our page. This comes to you from Germany, according to David Harris. Allegedly, this is terrifying, a German family who opened their home to a Muslim migrant ends up being threatened with a knife when he refused to leave. And he shouted, "This is my house now." Aren't there parables about this? What is it? The snake? No, the scorpion and the turtle, or
Was hast du gesagt?
Pass auf. Okay, ist alles okay.
Pass auf. Was hast du gesagt?
Okay, alles okay.
Was hast du gesagt?
Alles okay, alles okay. Habe ich schon.
Birgit, ruf die Polizei.
Was ist denn?
Du hast das Messer in der Hand und hast bedroht hier die Leute.
Diese dreckige Leute.
Wir haben mit denen normal geredet, aber scheinbar. Du kannst auch nicht reden.
Und das Messer.
do you see how aggressive this confrontation is? I don't know background. And by the way, when we're watching this, what do we say? We watch with critical eyes. Number one, I don't know the backstory. I don't know if this is a German family. I don't know if this is a Muslim migrant. I'm not entirely certain. I don't believe any videos that I watch. I don't believe any stories that I read. We take it at face value and we say, does it seem likely? A preponderance of likelihood. We're going to walk through it here.
Hier hinten, noch?
But this dude is very aggressive to these people for some reason.
Die drohen mich hier raus,
Hey.
Was wollt ihr? Raus hier!
Was he got a knife in his hand here?
Heide,
Hat
komm!
hier keiner was zu suchen. Hey, du musst aufpassen.
Komm jetzt raus! Ich komme raus! Heide! Heide!
Komm, geh raus.
Wow, is that right?
Ja.
Was Auto? Was? Die drohen mich raus, ne? Was machst du nicht mehr, Was?
So, was he trying to conquer this house like your nation is being conquered?
Was du mich mehr? Wieder komm hier, komm her.
Ich hab nur mit dir
Was hast du
geredet.
gesagt? Komm hier! Komm hier, komm hier, komm hier, komm hier!
Finger weg von ihm.
Was Finger weg, hä?
Kannst du nicht normal reden?
Was normal reden? Du drohst mich hier? Willst du auch raus hier oder was? Hä? Komm jetzt her! Geh da! Motherfucker, du drohst du mich hier? Hä?
By the way, take these videos and we turn them into teachable moments here on TNAM Preparedness. Ding. I need a stinger for that. I do need to get some more stingers for TNAM Preparedness, TNAM Food and Drink, TNAM Humor. That'd be good. Jamie, jot that down somewhere. We need some stingers that I can preload. The stinger that I do have that I can load is this. Do you agree or disagree that this, when this guy approaches violently, when this guy lays hands multiple times now on both of these people, they are far past the moment where physical force is required to put this guy down, to put him away from the people being attacked. I started asking the question. I made it a little convoluted. Do you agree or disagree that the moment this guy laid hands on any one of them, they should have used physical force to stop this immediate threat? They're taking way too long. Yeah, there are many people in self-defense circles that will teach you. You do not wait to be struck a first time. If somebody is threatening and menacing and gets up in your face, you got every right. You are now in an immediate threat, fearing for your life. You have no idea what they're carrying, what they're capable of. One push, one trip, your head could fall and get knocked on something solid. You could be dead like that. You have every right to defend yourself. Nobody has a right to get within an arm's length of you in your personal space. If they get within that, they get knocked the fuck out. Or you use a different weapon and you stop a threat like that. These people are taking way too time with this person. Way too much time with this person, in my opinion. He's now attacking two of them here. This guy doesn't seem too concerned. He's just kind of laughing. Smoking a cigarette, blowing in his face. So, you know, I don't understand the whole backstory and context. David Harris says their first mistake was inviting him into their home. Angie says, even though this is a horrific situation, I'm kind of low-key glad this is happening. As a European national myself, double citizenship, I do believe Muslim countries are sending their worst to Europe in order to destroy our society and then take over. It's a hostile it is absolutely a hostile takeover. It is a hostile invasion. In her opinion, I agree. And this video only shows the tip of the iceberg of what Muslims plan to do with Europe. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's got does he have a butter knife or a real knife? Because they don't seem scared of him at all.
Pass auf. Okay, ist alles okay. Okay.
Was hast du gesagt?
Okay, alles okay.
Qu'est-ce qu'ils
It
vous ont
looks like
fait?
it's a sharp knife. Like, what are they? If that's a sharp knife, they're making massive security mistakes here by letting this guy continue. You smack him with something, whether it's this size, pew, a frying pan, a shovel, a pitchfork. You do not let someone, if that's a sharp knife, it appears to be.
Alles okay, alles okay. Habe ich schon.
Weg ruft die Polizei.
So anyway, I have no idea what that
If you guys
story is, but it's a little terrifying, is it not? All right, Tim Cast here is going to talk about, well, we talked about feminism and first, second, third wave feminism and how they've destroyed the nuclear family and made women completely miserable and angry to the point where the awfuls, the angry white female leftist, is one of the biggest problems in this country. They've been taught to hate. They're angry. They're bitter. And why wouldn't they be? I get it. Why wouldn't you be? You've been sold a bill of goods. Oh, yeah, it's way better to be a strong, independent woman. Go out there and be a slave to some corporation. And by the way, it's getting harder and harder to pay your bills because we're devaluing your currency. So good luck living a comfortable life. You're just going to be sweating and work yourself into an early heart attack. Kenneth's got to go? Oh, Kenneth, no. Kenneth, no. Kenneth, have a great Friday. We'll see you soon. Tim Pool has some thoughts here about what happens with the internal workforce when it becomes majority female. Do you agree or disagree with Tim Pool? Oh, there's another opportunity to do that. Do you agree or disagree with Tim Pool?
If you guys saw the what was it? There's a viral video, and you might know this, Terry. There's a woman saying that wokeness is feminization.
Yes, Helen Andrews.
Yes.
Yes.
When any system, when a system's internal workforce becomes majority female, it inherently becomes woke. And I would argue not even majority female, because I would argue that a lot of men are deferential.
Yes.
And so maybe around 30%, women start forming cliques, and then they start pushing for this care and fairness idea without logic behind it. They, the great quote she had was James Damore's paper arguing that maybe women just don't want to, at the macro level, work in this industry. They didn't argue whether he was right or wrong. They argued that he hurt their feelings. Yeah. And that is the female approach to it. The issue that I see is a certain portion of men, maybe, 20% to a third, maybe more, are deferential to women for two reasons. You've got, and pardon my French, I have to use this term because it's the academic term, sneaky fuckers. This is an academic term, refers to males of a species that use deception or subterfuge to mate. So there are men who will tell a woman anything she wants to hear, and ladies know it too. But then you have other guys who are deferential largely because they don't care. These are guys who have seen the worst things imaginable. And so when a woman complains about something, the guy's like, I literally don't care. She says, I think we should do this, whatever. It's like, brother, I have seen a man lose his hand in an accident. I have seen a guy fall into a meat grinder. Lady, you're complaining about words. Fine, whatever. I don't care. Yeah. Doesn't mean anything to me. If you guys saw the, what was it? There's a viral video, and you might know this, Terry. There's a woman.
So, yeah. Current state of nearly all of corporate America says not your average. Well, what's this? Edward saying feminism and its Jewish origins in fruition. I don't know about that. But do you agree or disagree with what Tim Pool was saying there, that point that he was making? Society has changed, and it is the awfuls, the angry white female leftists that are the core of the Democrat Party. Take them away. I don't know anybody in good conscience that could vote for that party. They have been sold a bill of goods, Nutty. Sarah asks, have you ever read Dune by Frank Herbert? You'll understand what Islam is doing. It's pretty much a roadmap. I have not, but now it's on my list. Thank you for that. All right. Now, I should have made a highlight about this. Like the name of this program should have been about Hillary Clinton and Epstein. But I think we'll have time for that. It's okay. I mean, did she say a lot of nothing? And a lot of it was behind closed doors. The main headline Well, here, let's take a listen.
Obviously, most.
Hang on, Toria Brooke, why are you playing the NFL theme song? That'll get me a copyright claim. I don't want to do that. Thank you very much. But here.
The tension is with Bill Clinton, who was...
Can't play it. Whatever. That was stupid. All right. Breaking 911. Says a bombshell dossier details sweeping corruption by Illinois Democrat J.B. Pritzker. By the way, color me surprised. How shocked are you to see that one? I'm not shocked at all. Including quid pro quo deals, fraud, lawfare, bankrolling a convicted felon, ignoring child abuse reports, and ties to the Epstein family. Yeah, where's my surprised face? Because I am not surprised in the least bit. Data Republican put a thread together. So before the national press crowns him, let's look at what he built.
What do you think?
I think that...
Now let's listen to Linda Moynihan on CNN. By the way, this is a drop from Toria Brooke, real Toria Brooke. It's a pretty good follow. I recommend you follow her on Facebook, on Instagram, as well as following the New American Media, of course. Linda Moynihan on the Epstein files.
I think that if there was any sort of damning smoking gun, I think that we would have charges against any high-profile person. We know that prosecutors love to have high-profile cases that make their career. Mm-hmm. There's been a Democrat in office. They weren't able to find anything. There's
for 8 years.
Republican in office.
By the way, this stuff goes back to Iran-Contra, by the way.
They haven't been able to find anything, and I think the reality is because maybe there just isn't anything there.
We don't have... Guys, hold on. We don't...
What do you think?
I mean, is it possible that all of these demonic things that we're talking about, that maybe there isn't enough evidence on that? I mean, what evidence do we really have? Partial emails about things. Okay. We got plenty of hearsay and conjecture. Those are kinds of evidence. No, they're not.
See the moon.
That's good. When it scares you, it's probably the right direction. That's a pretty good phrase. Or you could be scared of a shark and then get eaten by a shark because you saw a shark and you did something stupid. So, some of that goes together. Trump draws clear midterm battle lines, patriots versus hatriots. Ooh, that's a great... Oh, Kenneth would have loved that wordplay. Patriots versus hatriots. Oh, that is good. Oh, I'm going to use that. Patriots versus hatriots. Remind me about that one. Days after John Thune said there wasn't enough time to vote on the Senate. It was revealed that senators instead held a dog parade inside the chamber of Congress, bringing their pets in for photos and celebration rather than advancing election legislation. You don't hate John Thune enough.
Oh, yeah, and the senator came too.
Oh, my God. Toria Brooke says U.S.-Iran talks in Geneva have been paused to resume later today. Will they be bombed, or will we get some sort of agreement in place? I don't know. All eyes on Iran. Never settle, ladies or men. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban has a message for Ukraine, and they are coming after Hungary and Ukraine big time right now. He says, I was absolutely certain that there would be dirty tricks. Now they are producing for us the very prototype we have only talked about so far. What happens if Ukraine, working together with Brussels, cuts Hungary off from cheap Russian oil and gas? What happens then? We have built up such reserves in recent years that the Hungarian economy cannot even be brought to its knees by an oil blockade until the elections. The plan is to create 100 HUF fuel prices, just high fuel prices, to create chaos and then supply insecurity and uncertainty. Yeah, that's their playbook. trying to strong arm them so that they can say the government cannot defend the country's interests. Yeah, to undermine it, and cannot ensure the normal functioning of the economy. They're being attacked. In my view, this objective cannot be achieved with this tool. They want to weaken Hungary, and they will fail. All right. Stephen A. Smith has thoughts about the party of chaos, the Democrats.
Trump.
Oh.
Donald
Trump. Here we go.
Donald Trump, when he asked the question about cheering and asking about protecting American citizens and prioritizing them ahead of migrants, he set you up.
Yep, and they bought it.
He knew you weren't going to stand. He knew 73 of y'all were going to show up to other places and not show up to the State of the Union. He knew that a lot of Americans that were moderates on both sides of the aisle were going to look at y'all as being every bit as out of control as you claim he is.
Played you.
The difference is that he takes those positions and the heat that comes with it as the incumbent, the president in office. You couldn't keep him out.
Oh, you tried.
And he's making the claim that you hate him so much, you're devoid of objectivity, and you're devoid of thinking about what's in the best interest of the United States of America because you're too busy thinking about your own personal feelings and animus towards him. And every time you do that, he smiles and mocks you and has a field day. You played right into his hand.
He's absolutely correct about this.
Don't come back at me and
I don't want Stephen A. Smith getting the Democrats on board with reality, but he's so right here.
say F Stephen A. Smith, or Stephen A. Smith is selling out, or Stephen A. Smith is this way or that way. I'm just telling you what it is.
You got trumped.
Don't kill a messenger. Shape the message in a fashion that benefits you for once. The man has been playing y'all like a fiddle for 11 years now, and you still can't beat him.
Yep.
Damn! You keep falling right into his hands. And it's a damn shame. It truly, truly is. Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Donald Trump.
That party is absolutely rudderless. Buzz Patterson says the Army pilot who led the Maduro raid and whose legs were sliced up by enemy fire struggled to stand with the use of crutches. Democrats didn't bother to stand at all. Buzz Patterson says, I've never been so pissed in my life. Yeah, I'm going to say retire every Democrat button. Yes. Retire every Democrat. Indeed. Ugh. They have
This one's
him.
This
Former alleged NSA CIA intel officer. Who is this supposed to be? Toria Brooks shared this. Let's take a listen to this accusation.
one's for Charlie Kirk. I followed the money on TPUSA. I found a lot. Let's go. I spent my career at the CIA and NSA and also advised other intelligence agencies. I now have my own corporate intelligence firm. All of these opinions are my own. This analysis is my own for entertainment purposes only. September 2nd, 2025, Charlie Kirk sends out an internal memo to TPUSA saying, hey, I'm announcing Justin Strife as our COO, and with that, he's going to lead a Doge-like effort into our financials and operations. Yay. Basically, an internal audit, but without setting off red flags to the rest of the company that he wanted an audit. That's how I read it anyway. 8 days later, Charlie Kirk was murdered. Within the week, Erica Kirk was announced as the CEO, and that audit and Doge-like effort never happened. But lucky for us, TPUSA is a 501c3 and their financials are public. So I went in and dove in, announced myself as the independent Doge to do the follow the money, because in my mind, if the CEO is asking for This one's for Charlie Kirk. I followed the money on TPUSA. I
for-
found an internal audit. He thinks something is up. And so I wanted to see what was going on. This is part 1. If you want to see the full write-up on my Substack channel, you can head over there and subscribe. Very grateful for
You're prominently showing that tattoo. I don't know what that tattoo is.
all your support. I will start a podcast there next week as well. In part 1, I want to talk about what I think maybe gave him a sense that he needed to do an audit. And it's 3 vendors: Lion Rock Ventures, Cloverstone, and GSM Strategies. Whenever I'm asked to go into a corporation and assess the CEO or leadership or financials for fraud or potential red flags, because sometimes there aren't, but the first place that I go in their financials is their vendors and consultants. Who are you paying money to? Because to me, that's one of the easiest ways to hide and kind of show your cards. When I was looking at TPUSA's 990 forms, I realized that these 3 LLCs in particular shared not only a director, but an address. And then I started doing digging and I realized an internal audit, he thinks sometimes Stacey Sheridan is the common person in all of these. Well, Stacey Sheridan is also the senior advancement director for TPUSA, making upwards of at least $200,000 a year to do the exact same job that apparently they were paying these consulting firms to do that she owned. Allegedly. Let's say you can look past that. Let's say it's like, so what? Well, next red flag is Lion Rock Ventures formed in 2019, and then it dissolved a year and a half later, and then Cloverstone formed, and then Cloverstone dissolved, and all while she was doing the same job for TPUSA. And on their 990 forms, they did do the same thing as her job through these vendors, allegedly.
Tell me in the comments, what do you think happened with Charlie Kirk? Do you think it was an inside job? Do you think it was the person they pinned it on? Man, I don't know. You saw him on the intro to this program. He had 0 seconds to spare walking on stage at a sold-out event. So, of course, he gave me 15 seconds and a soundbite. I met him once. He seemed to be, pretty solid dude. And it still bothers me what happened. And I'm not entirely certain I understand what happened. Do you? Tell me in the comments. What do you think happened? Are you Team Candace? Are you Team Erica? It really ruffles feathers. I'm just listening to what people are saying and considering.
I found the $350,000 payment that people keep talking about and the shady things around it. I found it in their 990. I'll do that in part 2. They do the same thing.
All right.
This one's for Charlie Kirk. Welcome to part 3 of my TPUSA Financial Series Deep Dive.
I guess we missed 2. Then they're saying that there was a life insurance premium, but people take out life.
We are uncovering some split between.
Comment here says a $350,000 life insurance policy for a healthy 30-year-old male is equivalent to about 30 to 50 million.
TPUSA and whoever Charlie Kirk's heirs are. A $350,000 premium for a healthy 30-ish-year-old male, you're looking at $30 to $50 million.
Wait, premium or policy? She said, this says policy, but she said premium. $350,000 life insurance policy wouldn't be 30 or 50 million, but if they meant a premium, if you're paying $350, you better be getting a ton of insurance.
Percent of your proceeds to, the schools and stuff. But that's for another TikTok. So why May 20?
All right.
About the.
I don't know. There's so much to sift through, and I'm not familiar with this girl, and maybe the insurance policy might have been collected December 3 of 25. All right. All right.
This one's for Charlie.
I don't know. I just want justice.
The way
Let's check out the Will Kane show where they're talking about how people reacted to the State of the Union.
The way I viewed it last night watching it is that they gave a middle finger to the oath of office that they took. In fact, their new oath of office is oppose Trump. On anything, on any situation.
Yeah. And it's so stupid.
The one thing that they seem to want to come together on is to oppose Trump. Trump could find a cure for cancer. to do that. Number one, it is about the American people first. You got to take care of home. You got to take care of your family before you can take care of or try to help to take care of someone else's. The way.
Agreed. Put on your own oxygen mask before you attempt to help someone else. A good point, Lake Leon. I still don't know what happened with Charlie. But you're team Charlie. Don't trust the wife or Candace. Yeah, it's something, I don't know exactly I don't like what's happening. But I'm just team Charlie. I don't
The way I
just want to know.
You're going to
Tim Pool says more of this. Congrats, brother. Liberal man officially leaves America.
You're going to go into that building an American, and you're going to come out a Canadian.
I'm going to go into that building in America.
I'm going to go into that building. Okay.
And I'm going to come out a Canadian.
Sounds like this guy repeats everything his wife tells him.
Helen and Bandit. Theodore! All right, big smiles, everyone. Smile.
Look at that. Who's the wife? Is she wearing a head thing?
Hello. How does it feel to be Canadian?
It feels great.
There you go. Good for you.
I feel like instantly changed.
You did. American AF, I encourage all liberals to move to Canada.
You know, on the drive home, I was letting everyone in front of me. And then we went to go get lunch, and it was completely crowded, so I was like, I'll come back.
This dude looks like the ultimate cuck.
And I just...
I don't get to drive anywhere. I don't get to make my decisions. I don't get to eat. I've leveled up. You do you, bro.
I've fully embraced being a Canadian already.
You're going to...
Deuces. Oh, boy.
You're going to go into that...
Is it the money?
Okay. This is a deep dive. Journalist Clayton Morris talking with Tucker Carlson about the supranational elite operating behind the scenes, wielding far more power than our governments.
Is it the moneyed interest? Is it the globalist cultists who run everything? I mean,
yes,
this is where
I think
my
that's
mind
right.
goes.
Yes, it's whatever the superstructure above governments is. And that's very obvious in the Epstein emails and texts, is that, he's part of some informal structure that's, I don't know, shorting the global financial crisis and knows that Gaddafi's going to be killed before Hillary Clinton does or whatever. Like, this guy is so plugged in. He's way more plugged in than any U.S. senator. He's way more plugged in than any Secretary of State. Probably more plugged in than the CIA director. So, like, what is this? What are we looking at here?
I think you're right. And, this is where people say, oh, you're conspiracy theorists on Redacted and Tucker, whatever. But it really is true when you understand that there's this global cultist network, pedophiles, Satanists who are, responsible for the COVID cabal and all of it, this supra-government, whatever you want to call it, at the heart of everything. Then you understand that, like, Trump is just a small piece of this. And you understand also that Epstein is just a small piece of this. Maybe
That's
it's like
correct.
a window into it, in my opinion. And they're very scared. It's like circling the wagons to kind of protect this globalist network, however it operates at many, many different levels. You get glimpses into it, like with the Bilderberg group. And, when you see all these people at Davos telling us how they're going to control our lives in the next few years with AI, chips inserted into our brains, and moving past information warfare. Now they're just going to have total control of us and in all of it. So I think that Rupert Murdoch and these guys, these oligarchs, these tech oligarchs who are at the top, they're way more powerful than President Trump, and they're really running the show. I mean, when you see that we're going to have massive biometric scanning and 6G networks rolled out and digital IDs and CBDCs and all of this digital tracking. It's all about control. Kevin Shipp, former CIA whistleblower, told me 17 years at the CIA, and he said, Clayton, you have to understand that when I got to the CIA, the number one goal at the CIA is if they know your thoughts, then they've won. And that's the number one goal of the intelligence state, is for them to know your thoughts and to be able to have that control. And we're not there yet, but we're damn close. And I think those are the dark forces that are really running all of it. Is it the moneyed interest? Is it the globalist cultists who run everything? I mean,
Yes,
this is where
Well, okay. That's distressing. Not entirely unexpected. But possible. I can't take the black pill though. I gotta hope that there's some point to this, that we have some chance to change this system. And this is the best chance I've seen in my entire lifetime. So I'm not taking the black pill. I'm not going to accept that we have no choice or hope, and that everything's predestined and we're doomed to fail. I'm going to say that we have the right, and we have the right people to make it happen. But for the love of God, do something. We're burning daylight here, 13 months, 14 months into the second administration, and no high level arrests of magnitude. That's not enough. By no means is it enough. Not for me. It shouldn't be for you. Remarks here put this out. It says, just in, FAA orders all U.S. airlines to prove pilot hiring is based on skill and merit or face federal investigation. Peter Boghossian says, imagine, this has become a right-wing position. How lunatics. Yeah, let the lefties fly DEI airlines, and then let the qualified people fly qualified airlines. I don't want someone that looks like a pilot. I want someone that is the best pilot. That's it. That's the guy I signed up for. This comic nails it, Dustin Nickerson.
Can we just give a shout out to all of our like pothead conspiracy theory cousins who are just batting 1,000%. Ends up they're right on every single thing. I'm rethinking my whole childhood. I'm thinking a lot about those conversations. Because you remember you were like 14 and your cousin's like, hey, you know the billionaire's got a private sex island. Aliens are real. In like 20 years, it's going to be self-driving cars, totally artificial intelligence. I'm rethinking my whole relationship with my cousin Duncan, honestly.
I am cousin Duncan.
I had a cousin named Duncan who wore ponchos every day and looked exactly like Willie Nelson. Ends up way more honest than my mom. Can we just give a shout out to all of our
Yeah, time to give conspiracy theory shout outs. But if you want to know about this stuff early, all you had to do is follow the New American Media.
Can we just give a shout?
So hit like, hit subscribe. Now, what is this about Target? What is this here? What is this story? This is some of the, some of the awfuls trying to bully Target here. That's what Hi.
Hi.
Get the crazy eyes.
Hi, Brian. My name is Pastor Martha Bardwell, and I'm here with a bunch of clergy in the lobby of corporate headquarters. We are waiting here to speak with you.
Is this the right Brian Cornell?
You're out of town here. I'm putting you on speakerphone so we can all hear you. Go ahead.
I am out of town right now and heading into a meeting, but I know our local group is going to be happy to talk to you. So thanks.
Okay, can we get you on Zoom? Can we get you on Zoom after that meeting?
Sorry, I better run.
We're in total crisis over here in Minnesota.
We're in total crisis. Yeah. Because you're frauds, you're being exposed.
We really need to talk with you.
No,
it's really, is it?
Oh, it's really, is it? So let's read this. Target has paid, according to GLCS here, in the Breaking 911 account, in the Minnesota Star Tribune. There's a lot of stuff I'm sifting through here. When did Target actually decide to end their lease? Target vacated the city center offices in 2021 amid remote work shifts. The lease was until 2031. They paid $110 million last month, January 26, to formally terminate it early, per Star Tribune and Biz Journals today. No major reports tie a buyout to recent protests. The decision traces back years. Okay, so it's being represented as these crazy riots have pushed companies like Target out, but they were sort of out anyway. It's important to know the truth, but, you know, Target being a major store and places in Minneapolis have been targeted, and you can expect the good people to bounce if they're going to be targeted like this. So many Target puns, but anyway, there's context there to that story if you see it circulating. They broke that lease based on 2021 to 31, and they did it in 26, 5 years early. So just beware of the difference. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem reveals that her friend Elon Musk's, or that Elon Musk helped her. I'm having a hard time saying this. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem just revealed that Elon Musk helped her find spyware on her devices.
Came into this office, it was, Elon and his team were extremely helpful to me. They helped me identify that some of my own employees in my department had downloaded software on my phone and my laptop to spy on me.
Stop it.
To record our meetings.
Wow.
They had done that to several of the politicals.
Wow.
And so we ended up bringing in people, and that was something that if you didn't have those technology experts here in the department looking at all of our laptops and our phones and recognizing that kind of software, it would still be happening today.
What happened to the individual that was had your phone that was being spied on? What happened to those individuals?
Fired. Brought in, polygraphed, fired. Yes, many of them out of that arm of the department that are in charge of security on laptops, phones. Also,
you think that's enough?
We had to.
You
We
think
have to
that's
sweep
enough?
my office on a regular basis to make sure that there's not listening devices in it. It was very prevalent, and I think that what happened at this department was individuals had gotten away with for years spying on people who were politically appointed and trying to stop an administration that was coming in and trying to fix this country and keep us safe. Came into this office, it was, Elon and his team were extremely helpful to me. They helped me identify that some of my own employees.
There are snakes in the grass. Snakes in the grass everywhere. Please move faster to eliminate the traitors at every level. We're burning daylight. Indeed, I say that's treason. Where are the arrests? That's a comment that I
came into this office.
Let's talk about.
Oh, this is a 4-minute clip. I can't do all of this, but Ben Swan gives a 4-minute report. I encourage you to watch. In the 1950s, the CIA was experimenting with different mind control techniques. These experiments included altering food, water, and even vaccines. What is this Project Artichoke? In the precursor of MK Ultra. Boy, oh boy, this is a deep dive.
Talk about this declassified CIA document that is for.
Oh, and there's music too, so I can't play it, but you should check this one out.
Let's talk about this
I don't know what this meme drop is, but maybe we'll take a look. Jenny says, breaking a former FBI special agent warns that these Epstein files will unleash a Pandora's box of national security threats and geopolitical ramifications unlike anything seen before in American history or politics. Your terms are acceptable, says the meme. My VPN location is set to Epstein's Island, so they no longer care what I do. The government's monitoring my activity. All right. Share with you. Let's keep it going. 9/11 data dump. John Kirikow.
This is a
CIA
data dump. I'm going to simplify this for you, John, because there's some more specific details here, but it is showing basically like if you will, a percentage of data sets from the Epstein files that are presented over the years. And we can see that there is a massive gap and basically like U in the chart, if you will, between the years of 1999 to 2001, when, among other things, you had the tech bubble blow up. You had, I believe that's 99 is when the Lewinsky impeachment trial's happening. You have the election of 2000, the highly contested election of 2000, John Kiriakou.
Oh, yeah.
Where, I don't know, someone Google this for me, but I think there was a big point of contention in Palm Beach County as it pertains to that election, and that's where one Jeffrey Epstein did happen to reside. Just looking at some things here.
Yep.
And then in 2001, you have the worst terrorist attack in United States history in New York and D.C. and
Prior to
in the
COVID.
skies over that fell over Pennsylvania with United 93. And suddenly all these files are missing. But, John, we did get an email from 2003 that slipped through the cracks.
Really?
Oh, you haven't seen this one?
No, I haven't seen it.
So there's an email thief. Boom. He's got it. He's all over it. So this is from 2003. Someone named Ed Epstein sends an email to one Gmax, Ghislaine Maxwell, saying any interest in being on the Shadow Commission on 9/11, the membership list is secret. She responds, thanks for the invite. Unfortunately, I cannot be on the Shadow Commission.
A Shadow Commission. It takes my breath away. Oh my God. This should be the banner headline.
What do you make of that?
I don't even know what to say. I mean, nobody believes what the 9/11 Commission concluded anyway.
That's right.
But the fact that there was a Shadow Commission with a secret membership list? And Ghislaine Maxwell talked about it in 2003.
Why? That's what I want to know.
Good question.
And it's like, this goes back to a compartmentalization. And we know about with the 5 guys from Mossad in fucking Fort Lee who were videotaping the thing, who were sent back to Israel on November 6, 2001.
That's exactly right.
And I know a guy from the office that arrested them. And to this day, he wonders why the fuck they didn't get why the fuck. This is a data dump. I'm going to simplify this for you, John, because there's some more specific.
What type of 9/11 connections are there with Epstein? A. Wilkinson says, yeah, John pretending to be surprised is frying me. Fluorite says, remember the 5 dancing Israelis? CIA needs to double down on their improv classes. Terrible acting. Mel Gibson, like, hey, what do you know? She also asked, where is the real pilot? So there's that. All right. I'll just put damn. Not much of a comment, but leaving breadcrumbs.
This is a
Fox News. A little bit of oh wait, hold on. I was trying to watch this story.
Jack Hughes!
The hero Jack Hughes getting some love, coming back from the gold medal winning punch.
New Jersey Devils center Jack Hughes received a hero's welcome home Wednesday night at his first NHL game since scoring the golden goal in overtime against Canada, winning Team USA's first hockey gold medal since the Miracle on Ice in 1980.
I'm so proud and I'm so happy that the men's and women's USA hockey teams brought gold medals back to the United States of America.
But it was what Hughes did before that perhaps speaks the loudest. The 24-year-old reached out to Tage Thompson of the Buffalo Sabres, brought him to center ice so that he too could receive a standing ovation for his contributions to team.
Well, now investigators are tracking the...
Well, anyway, it's just a little bit of patriotism. We haven't had that for a while. All we've had with 12 years of Obama. Yeah, I mean, 4 were Biden as his puppet, but 12 years, just America's bad, America's evil, blah, 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 everything negative. And don't forget the 4 years of Trump and then the other year in a couple months of Trump, just negative, 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 negative. It feels so refreshing to hear positive stories. coming out of America, right? Ilhan Omar, whistleblowers, is justice coming.
Well, now investigators are tracking the web of fraud to other Minnesota Democrats, such as Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. Many of the suspects linked to the scheme live in her district, including a restaurant owner who hosted events for her. He has since been convicted of stealing $12 million in COVID funds. Well, now investigators...
All right. Let's see how J.D. Vance's new team of fraud investigators are going to handle it. Now, here we go. Here's Hillary Clinton saying no what? No, she what? Remember how much of a bullet we dodged by her not being in office.
Jeffrey Epstein. I never went to his island. I never went to his homes. I never went to his offices. So it's on the record numerous times. It then got, at the end, quite unusual because I started being asked about UFOs and a series of questions about Pizzagate, one of the most vile, bogus conspiracy theories that was...
Really, Hillary? Totally nothing there, huh?
Propagated on the internet that was serving as the basis of a member's questions to me.
A little bit about how you have processed and reacted to the fact that the former president, your husband, Bill Clinton, is referenced in the Epstein files numerous times, including in some photos featuring women. And how have you been personally preparing for the deposition that is coming tomorrow? Are you 100% confident that there isn't anything that the former president knows about Epstein's crimes?
I am, and I think the chronology of the connection that he had with Epstein ended several years before anything about Epstein's criminal activities came to light, and that he was charged and sadly given a sweetheart deal, which, as I said in my statement, had that not happened, perhaps his predatory behavior could have been stopped earlier. But I think it is fair to say that the vast majority of people who had contact with him before his criminal pleas,
like your husband,
in 2008, were like most people. They did not know.
They did not know. Yeah, you know.
What he was doing. No, Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, boy. This should age nicely. Yeah, we'll revisit this in a little bit. We shall see.
No, Jeffrey Epstein.
Here's a list of things Democrats refuse to stand for. Got to mute it. Prioritizing American citizens over illegal aliens. Lowering prescription drug prices. Why won't that work? There we go. What else? World War II veterans won't stand for that. Protecting minors from irreversible sex changes won't stand for that. Banning large corporations from buying up affordable homes won't stand for that. Unifying against political violence. Nope. Irina Zarutska's mother. Nope. Supporting firefighters and law enforcement. Nope. Keeping violent criminals locked up. Nope. Murder rate dropping. Nope. Ending widespread fraud schemes. Nope. Essentially everything, to be honest. You see the difference. Make your decision wisely. Hey, it turns out that everything our grandparents thought was cool is cool. Who would have thunk that, huh? Just let it play. There we are. Jesus, guns, old trucks, dangerous levels of caffeine, offensive jokes, hating the government, peace and quiet. So there's that. Oh, yeah. Heritage Foundation takes this moment and now analyzes what it meant to the country.
Agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
Okay, I got to mute it because there's too much music. Whether one side is going to stand up or remain seated, are they going to clap? Are they going to respond? He said, please stand up if you agree with the following statement. Essentially, your commander-in-chief is asking you to retake your vow to the country. That's your number one duty. To
protect American citizens, not illegal aliens. And the Democrats didn't stand. They remained seated.
It's telling and showing America that they don't view American citizens as their number one priority. They put illegal aliens at the same level as American citizens. They view illegal aliens as their constituents. And that's just absolutely wrong. But why do they do it? To hold on to political power. They've built their political house of cards on mass illegal immigration invasion, and they depend on those for votes. They depend on ballot harvesting, but in the name of illegal aliens. And they depend on the head count in the census of those illegal aliens and other non-citizens for their very congressional district seats and for electoral college votes. And it needs to end. And we need to pass the Save America Act. Trump Trump checkmated them all button. Agree. This girl says it nicely.
Hypocrisy.
They call
the hypocrisy of the left.
You a fascist for wanting secure borders while they create safe spaces to keep out anybody that they don't agree with.
True.
They preach about climate change while flying around in their private jets.
True.
They warn you about election interference from foreign countries while fighting against voter ID laws that would prevent it. They promote body positivity. Unless you're on the other side, then they'll mock you for your weight. They say that you're intolerant, yet shut down and ban any speaker that disagrees with them. True. And they'll say that you're racist while simultaneously saying that people of color and minorities are too dumb to get IDs to vote. They took religion out of schools claiming indoctrination, but drag queen story hour is fine. And they'll call you a science denier, yet men can be women.
She's cooking.
And they'll go to No Kings protests, forgetting that their party didn't throw a primary in the 2024 election. They'll call Trump and his administration dictators, like they didn't make people walk around with vaccine cards for years. So please tell me again how liberalism is not a mental illness.
Was there any lies detected? Listen to this hypocrisy.
Yeah, that's... accurate. Straight to the point. Retire every Democrat. Yeah.
Listen to this hypocrisy.
The way I viewed it
the assassination.
Oh, there's music here. It's that. Is this Moonlight Sonata? Well, let's try to listen.
The assassination of Ayman Zawahiri, the number 2 in Al Qaeda. You know,
the number 2 Al Qaeda person. How did it go down?
We shot him with a drone-launched missile.
The drone shoots a missile with no explosives on it.
Had no warhead on it. We did that on purpose because
we didn't want to kill the women and children inside the apartment.
He came out onto the balcony to smoke a cigarette.
They're watching and waiting. He's out to have a cigarette, and they take him down.
Fired the missile at him.
It went
completely through his body.
A missile went completely through his body, and with no warhead, there was no explosion.
Can you imagine cleaning up that mess?
Could you imagine cleaning up that mess? Yeah, this guy genuinely enjoyed his job, it seems.
The assassination.
Donald Trump.
All right, I shared this one.
Agree with.
Oh my gosh! By the way, would you look at this? Would you look at that? Look at the difference between 2026 and 1995. It's hard to believe that a Democrat used to make some sense.
With this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
Not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more, by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before, by cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens. In the budget I will present to you, we will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes, to better identify illegal aliens in the workplace, as recommended by the commission headed by former Congresswoman Barbara Jordan. We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it.
Can you believe a Democrat said this?
Agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
We just said it's impossible to believe that a Democrat was capable of making sense at one point in American history. They've gone crazy now. Just listen to that. I mean, he sounds like a Republican. Here's what it's like when normies finally start asking conspiracy theorists questions. Mr. Rogers.
You're learning so many important things.
So proud of you.
And I'm so proud of you.
Yes, I do watch a lot of these prior to posting them. Some of them I don't. I go, I'll unpack this on the show. And some of them I know exactly what we're getting into. I'm so proud of you. Here's how the Epstein files have some of us feeling. Any of you?
You're gonna help us start a war.
You're gonna help us start a war. Too much music.
With who?
Everyone. How about everyone? What is the movie? I don't think they tell you. Josh Brolin, Emily Blunt, Kate Mercer. They're not telling you the name of the movie. The setup, maybe? So what is the biblical protocol for dealing with baby eaters? Anyone know? Are we supposed to just be cool with that and let that happen? I don't know if we're supposed to just let that happen. Kind of feel like common sense would dictate. We might need to do something about that. Millstones. Yeah, there need to be punishments for people that would abuse a kid. The most hefty punishment you can imagine. So what is this? January, you get Maduro. February, you get the narco guy in Mexico. March, is that when you're getting the Ayatollah? And you're fixing Iran? Not that it's our job to. But what if it is? Time will tell. And of course, everyone's going to ask, is Bibi behind it? You know that's coming. Okay, this California City Council has a registered sex offender trying to run. I think I phrased that really weird. It's been revealed that a Democrat who's running for Fresno, California City Council, Rene Campos, is a registered S offender with a 28 conviction for possession of CSAM materials, and they don't plan on stepping down. Oh my gosh.
Leaders that are honest from the very beginning, not the end. So going into this, I'm putting my life out there.
Up front about his status as a registered sex offender, Rene Campos is not running from his past as he runs for office.
I've been given the chance to rehabilitate through the courts and back into the system.
Charged with being in possession of child sex abuse material back in 2018, the Fresno native says he pled no contest to a misdemeanor charge. Now launching his campaign to represent District 7 on the Fresno City Council. He says his focus is on safety.
So I say, let's choose somebody outside the box, somebody who knows the system from inside out. Because me, I've experienced the laws that we are trying to reform right now.
Fresno County Clerk and Registrar of Voters James Coos says state law does not prevent a registered sex offender from running for office.
Once you leave prison, you're on probation, you actually are allowed in California to reapply and become a registered voter again, which would then make you eligible to be able to run as long as you are living in the proper jurisdiction.
Well, I believe Fresno deserves leaders that are honest from the very beginning, not the end. So going into this, I'm putting my life out there.
Up front about his status as a registered sex offender, Rene Campos.
All right. No, I think there are certain crimes that you do that make you ineligible for public service. You know, you can forgive if you want to, but no. Yeah, RIP California, very sick indeed. Take your kids out of that. Well, it's city council, so. Oh boy. Nope. Yeah, why do Democrats always...
Well, I believe Fresno deserves leaders.
I'm not trying to...
This guy's funny. What's his name?
I'm not trying...
Michael Fogelman. Doing a Gavin Newsom impersonation.
I'm trying to press y'all, but I'm trying to imprint on you that I can't read shit like you guys, right? You can't read shit. I can't read too. I know how to do. It's seriously like dribble a basketball like you guys. Shit, man. Like I was doing crack like you guys. Like you guys do crack, right? Like I seriously don't mean to be a player hater. And I'm not trying to be a player hater on Trump, but like you gotta let a motherfucker have his baby mamas. Just a guy listening to hip hop doing crack cocaine and who can't read. What does that sound like to you? Am I right? I'm not trying
to. He's got the finger motions down, like it. I think it's pretty great. Am I following this guy? Yeah, okay, I did hit follow. Ah, that was a good Gavin Newsom.
I'm not trying to press y'all.
I'm just trying to impress upon you. All right, so is it time that everything is up for consideration at this point? Sadly, I think it might be. How many people have been tricked like that Scott Cartman moment on South Park? David Nino Rodriguez, a boxer, I guess, says, have we all been eating human meat at fast food restaurants? What? That's something I really had no clue I would ever say out loud. Have the satanic elites been having the entire world population participate in cannibalism to lower human vibration as a mass ritual? What do you think? Agree or disagree with, if that were as a statement, that has been happening, or it's possible that it has been happening? Would you agree or disagree that it's possible? Or just agree that it's possible, or disagree and go, come on, man. Now we're just in stupid. I didn't finish my thought. that we're in stupid territory now. What say you? I look, I'm open to anything being possible at this point. And how many people have been tricked? You hear that certain chemicals are from Planned Parenthood parts, and you hear that, I mean, there's just so much terrible stuff floating around out there. I don't know what's what anymore. Lauren Lee is asking for a wellness check on Nicole Shanahan, RFK Jr.'s former running mate. She hasn't been seen since October. Now, I don't think that's accurate. I thought I just saw something with her. Let me ask, where's Nicole Shanahan? What is she up to? Ex-wife of Google co-founder Sergey Brin, reportedly a billionaire. Oh my gosh. Well then. Crowdfunded satirical comedy called The Rash, a COVID-19 pandemic-themed project inspired by Jay Bhattacharya, the current NIH director and lockdown critic. Okay. Hosted podcast Back to the People about spiritual warfare and faith and Christianity. After a near-death experience and being baptized around the Trump inauguration, social media health effects, Camp Lejeune contamination, farmland protection, and more. Lower profile on social media lately, but she's clearly active in media production, philanthropy, via her Baya Echo Foundation. Not familiar with that, but maybe worth checking out. Oh, sorry, it was on the wrong screen size there. Easily correctable. All right, so we know where she is, but the claim here is that, hold on. She announced that Maha had been infiltrated. And then she goes silent. And we all know she was right. Where is she? Jason Bassler says, here's a brief history of Maha betrayals. Immunity for pesticide giants. Pushing MMR measles vaccine. Creepy wearable tech agenda. Fighting to keep fluoride in water. Reversing PFAS forever chemical bans. Seed oil lobbyist as the USDA chief of staff. And not a movement, a marketing campaign. So that whole glyphosate thing has got me feeling some kind of way. How about you? Mike Leon's scared to answer that question about the fast food places. Yeah, I did play Nicole Shanahan. What was the context of what I played from Nicole Shanahan? Was it about glyphosate? I mean, that feels possible, if not likely. But yeah, I did see her, but it's worth checking into. So there you go, Lauren. Not a single. What is this one? I think this is more of a perspective thing.
Single one of you wants to hear this, but once you become conscious, life stops being fun and it becomes a curse. Try watching a movie. You can't. Your brain instantly detects the propaganda, the messaging, the psychological fingerprints of whoever funded the script.
Do you find yourself doing that when you watch a TV show or a movie and you go, I can't watch this. I can't do this. This is awful. And you know exactly what they're pushing, what they're promoting. I can't watch this. I can't do this. This is awful. I find that.
Try going to a party and everyone looks like an NPC running outdated software. It's a circus of insecurity held together by dopamine withdrawals and fake confidence.
Anyway, there's Nothing Else Matters playing in the background, but you should watch this. It's an interesting perspective. Yeah, I can't play. If there was a little button right here, I can mute it. Why can't I also press the thing to take the background music out so I can hear what's happening? That would be ideal.
Not a single one of you wants.
Mario Nawfal is reporting that Trump's DOJ quietly removed a photo from the Epstein files of Howard Lutnick on Epstein's island with a group of men. Is that Howard Lutnick? It's tough to tell. I mean, he's looking down. Maybe that's confirmed. Maybe it's suspected. I don't know. This guy, mind you, said under oath that he only visited the island with his wife and kids. So this removal is sparking major cover-up talk. I don't know if that's what that is. Old Easter Island head himself, Epstein. I don't know what that red line is supposed to indicate. Oh, that it was right there? Oh, okay. Well, that would be different then, wouldn't it? Corey says, that's clearly AI. Look at Epstein's right leg. Not even good AI. That would be his left leg, actually. All right, so I don't know. Keep your eyes peeled on Lutnick. Something's off. He laughs. It's almost, I don't know. It's just kind of, it's a little much. I get a something off with him vibe from Howard Lutnick. Lake Leon says, I watch old Westerns only. Quit watching movies because of that. I know Scott Adams talked about that all the time. He's like, you just can't even watch a movie anymore. Which one do I? Oh, I'll go bottom to top. Breaking. Meta has patented an AI that can keep a deceased person's account active and running, posting, messaging, and video calling by replicating and using their behavior from past data. Doomer says, hey, it's a good thing that there aren't hundreds or even thousands of parables through history across all continents and cultures that warn against using dark sorcery to raise a simulacrum of the dead. Yeah, it's a really good thing that you haven't been warned against necromancy. Oh, wait, we have been. But they're trying it anyway. Isn't that swell? Project Lazarus, a Meta insider posting about that. So that's the realm that we're in right now. That's the stuff that we're talking about. A version of digital necromancy. Fantastic. This young man dismantles Brandon Johnson in Chicago.
First, I actually just want to apologize on behalf of Brandon Johnson for ignoring the young lady that was just speaking there, for speaking for the animals' rights. And let me continue here. I was watching one of your recent videos of you saying that you never told a lie. So you raised property taxes when you promised you wouldn't. You promised that crime would go down when it's not. Reports of crime is down, though, but not crime within itself. I just want to let everybody know that crime itself is not down. Nobody voted for you to fund illegal migrants, Brandon Johnson, and we know this is happening because Melissa Hortman, a Democrat in Minnesota, voted against funding for illegal migrants, the only Democrat, by the way, and she was murdered for it. She was murdered actually by someone who was appointed by Tim Walz, sir. So I just want you guys to think about that as well. So we know this is happening, which is the main reason why the president is withholding. First, I actually just want to apologize.
Please, can we fix this Instagram where if there's 3 panels, they can just play directly instead of me having to click them?
Holding federal funds in Chicago because he is afraid that you will He is afraid that you will fund illegal migrants. And honestly, I'm afraid that you will do that too. How are you going to allow 9 janitors to be fired when you have 150 police detail and that costs you $22 million a year? You can't cut a few cops to save a few jobs? You mean to tell me your safety is that important, Brandon Johnson? Absolutely disgraceful. Instead, you want to hang out with a China-loving, dog-shocking communist like Hassan Piker. Why are you streaming, dude? People are out here dying. I'm serious. You was just on 79th, right? You saw 24 shots get in it, and I'm being serious, dude. Absolutely disgraceful. You want to defund the police, and your executive order means nothing. You cannot holding federal funds. Hold federal agents accountable, bro. It's called supremacy clause. That means federal law is the highest law of the land, okay? The executive order that you signed, that was a waste of time and ink, if I'm being honest with you. So we are American patriots. We are Chicago patriots. How many people have to die because of your poor leadership? Watch Dogs has recently found that we are actually $41.1 billion in debt. It's not even 1.5. So where is all the money going, Mr. Brandon Johnson? We want to know that. And I know it's Black History Month, ladies and gentlemen, but Brandon Johnson, you got to stop being racist, dude. Like, this is a problem, man. Everybody is people. We all shed red blood. I understand that, you know, tribalism.
Everybody is people. Okay, aside from that comment, that was stupid.
Is a thing and stuff like that, but we are all the same in the eyes of God, Brandon Johnson. Stop. Hold federal agents.
Well, people are starting to get frustrated with leadership. Hey, but not all is lost. Look, we're not going to be blackpilled on everything, okay? We don't allow that here. We're going to fight the good fight while we can all the time about everything, all right? This former liberal has gone viral for publicly apologizing to President Trump for buying into the media lies.
If you could give President Trump, or if you were able to talk to President Trump tonight, what would you like him to know?
I would like to say, Mr. President, I am so sorry for believing the lies that the mainstream media has just projected on me and that I fell for and I believed. I stand by you. I love you. I thank you for what you're doing for this country, and I'm so sorry that I just took it for granted and I did not even see it. But I do see it now, and you have one more supporter standing beside you and praying for you.
If you could give President...
Bravo to you. Yeah, welcome to MAGA. Bring your friends over. It's cool.
If you could...
Representative Anna Paulina Luna says we should have the death penalty for child sex predators. Representative Nancy Mace, that was Anna Paulina Luna's reply to Nancy Mace, who says if you are a child, you don't deserve a second chance. You deserve the death penalty. And that feels right to me. Some people prefer wood chippers in the comments. That might be cruel and unusual, or it could just be what we decide is the proper deterrent for people doing terrible stuff. Without the right deterrent, you might have more of it. I'd be open to it. All right, here's this furious man not holding back on the school board. So take a watch.
97, I made it halfway through 1995, but for some reason I was too ill-behaved to even make it through Heather Ridge. I know it's hard to believe. But I identify as Ray Gallagher, and I'm going to go by Ray Gallagher for the rest of the speech. So you guys had 6 kids raped, and the first thing you thought to do was to start to ban free speech and require driver's licenses in order to stop citizens from calling you out on your bull. Well, it's not going to work.
Mr. Porter, I'm going to stop.
Sorry, but
I'm going to stop you right there.
I'm sorry. There is nothing disruptive about the content of my free speech. Do you want to talk about Cohen versus California? Did you stop my time? You didn't.
It is stopped.
I'm going to continue. No, it didn't stop. It's still counting. I'm looking at it. It says 2 minutes.
I'm going to give you one more chance, and then I'm going to ask you to sit down.
For what?
To abide by our new policy.
You can't ban specific words. My particular view of your policies, the fact you had all these kids raped by a transgender person, and then you keep pushing transgender stuff on children is that your policy is completely out of line with America. Now, this is a transgender flag, and I would like to show you demonstrably what America and the voters think about the transgender ideology being pushed on children. So that right there is what America thinks of your transgender policy 443. Most people don't support this garbage. You literally support chopping off appendages of children and giving them puberty blockers that make them sterile. You're a monster, all of you, the ones that vote for and support this stuff. The board is out of line. The board's policies are out of line. You guys don't know what you're doing. You're pissing everybody off. Class of 97, I made it.
By the way, I asked Grok to tell me what school district this is and what case it's about, and Grok can't tell me. But I have covered this before. I did play this video in the past, but just a reminder, it matters. Speaking out matters. And we're all capable of doing so.
Class of 97.
Tim Pool, another one from Tim Pool. I don't share a lot of his stuff, but I've had 2 or 3 of his today. Tim Pool is sick of Democrats arguing in favor of slaves. Just fucking pay living wages and people will take the jobs, American people. And our comment was, we don't loathe the globalists enough. This is Governor of Wisconsin talking about his state economy.
If I had a chance and I knew it, and I knew it would have an impact, I'd tell them to leave the immigrants here in Wisconsin alone. They're the ones that milk our cows. They're the ones that work in our the factories. If they go after those folks, our economy will implode overnight. He should know that. If
it's being propped up by slave labor, then maybe it deserves to implode. Just pay real wages, people. Josh says we freed their slaves, so they imported more. They being the Democrats. Goodness. It's not too far off, is it?
If I had
Joey Manarino reports that a migrant from Ghana stabbed his 22-year-old girlfriend 258 times because she was too busy caring for their newborn and not enough for him. He filmed her bleeding out, then took selfies holding the baby in a pool of its mother's blood. This seems impossible to be true. But let me ask Grok for the context of this. If it will tell me. Trying to... Man, Grok was good at this yesterday, but now it's not... Anyway, a Dutch court gives him 5 years in jail only because he has a very low IQ. All right, let me just ask the buzzwords. If this is Dutch court, low IQ. Arnold O, full name often reported as Arnold O. Foriwa. Ghanaian origin, 24-year-old. G. Haniv, young mother. Home in Zoertemer near The Hague. He filmed parts of the attack using her phone and later took selfies with the 2-week newborn baby amid the blood-soaked scene. Jealousy and resentment because she was focusing more on caring for the newborn than on him. This is insane. Public prosecutor initially requested 10 years in prison. However, the court sentenced him to 5 years plus mandatory psychiatric treatment. Oh my God. They said he was psychotic during the attack. Personality disorders, diminished criminal responsibility. No. Full legal insanity. Very low IQ is a key mitigating factor. If they can't control themselves, that's every reason to put them in jail for life with no possibility of parole. The baby was unharmed. Oh my God. This, according to Grok, this is a real story. Europe is finished. A young mom murdered, her infant orphaned, and the savage gets a 5-year sentence for being too dumb to know better. This is how civil wars begin, honestly. Sorry to bring you that one. Joe Rogan here talks about, according to the autopsy, something's off with Epstein. Take a look at this.
Would be...
I'm an anatomist.
It is behind the dick.
Is that a word?
Yeah.
Anatomist?
Autopsy?
So bladder contains approximately 5 milliliters of cloudy yellow urine.
Mm-hmm.
The prostate is slightly and diffusely enlarged with marked enlargement of the verumontanum.
That's how I would have said it.
The testes are unremarkable. That's the last thing I want anybody to say about my nuts. I want them to say, wow, what a great pair.
Great body, but the nuts are
unremarkable.
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 So here is some sort of discussion between him and someone.
Okay. The guy says exactly not clear what effects hormones might have on that aren't replaced by testosterone. The advantage of taking testosterone, there are 2 different things. You can have high testosterone and still have a need for Viagra because you don't have a prostate.
Would be...
I'm an anatomist.
It is behind the dick.
Is that a word? Right. And then Epstein says, correct.
And then at the bottom, they show another document.
Hold on. Let me keep going there. Yeah. So that's an extreme example. I was actually going to try and move up one level, sort of drug-enhancing life. If you don't mind it, he doesn't mind it. I'm sort of outer space thinking. Oh, so he's trying to juice up. So he's saying I'm moving up one level of sort of drug-enhancing life. I don't know what I think he means. He's going to start juicing. That's what it sounds like.
So he doesn't have a prostate?
Doesn't have a prostate, it
So
says.
there's another document that says something about it after a radical prostatectomy.
Prostatectomy.
So when they take out your prostate?
But that doesn't necessarily say he had his. I think it's a document.
But he said.
The comment, prostate gate. Oh, hold on.
He doesn't have a prostate, and it says patient Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
And it says, according to the American Urological Association Serum PSA, right? And then Epstein says, correct.
And then at the bottom, they show another document.
Hold on. Let me keep going there.
Yeah.
So that's an extreme example. I was actually going to try and move up one level, sort of drug-enhancing life, if you don't mind. Should decrease and remain at undetectable levels after radical prostatectomy.
And there's other documents where
Prostatectomy.
he's contacting doctors that specialize in that very thing.
Okay, so the doctor saying he had a radical prostatectomy. He's saying he does not have
The Epstein prostate paradox.
a prostate, but yet the body from the autopsy
And so
talks about the prostate is slightly and diffusedly enlarged. So that's not his body? That's what it seems like.
So now we're hearing that maybe the body was not him based on the existence of a prostate that he
Epstein
didn't have. Would that surprise you in the least? I don't think so. Would that necessarily mean that Trump was in on it? Or that Bill Barr did it? Or that he's in witness protection and he's singing on everybody and the hammer's about to drop? I don't know. I hate pondering stuff like that because it takes the power away from us doing the right thing. Here's Mike Benz with more Epstein.
Epstein put into words something that I've only heard Tom Wolfe mention in that 1987 Bonfire of the Vanities. He's describing the New York City criminal justice system. He basically describes the prosecutor's office as they're looking for their great white defendant, I think they were calling it, and the politics of bringing the charges in that Bonfire of the Vanities case. And Tom Wolfe is explaining that the New York City District Attorney's Office doesn't work on the basis of who committed a crime or not, whether you're innocent or not. Prosecutions are pursued on the basis of whether they put a favor in the favor bank to somebody above them at the mayor's office or outside interest, or whether it doesn't, in which case you don't bring the case or you bring a case that's BS. When I got to the State Department, I saw just this huge apparatus of mostly decent people, but they're systematically, seemingly obliviously doing the wrong thing at every layer of it. And you go, well, what's motivating them to do this? And you find out, okay, well, this person is sort of protected by this person in Congress. And this person, while they may be a Republican like me and serving the same administration as me, this person was actually a Liz Cheney pick. And so the reason they're pursuing this policy on disinformation.
Favor banks. Yeah, someone asked me to explain, what do you mean you were censored by Obama, Biden? I'm like, you don't know? All this misinformation, disinformation crap, they weaponize
Information in Europe and trying to get Europe
They're doing it in Europe now.
to pass a censorship law to censor Trump supporters is because Liz Cheney had more pull over this than there. And so this person is putting a favor in the favor bank to Liz Cheney by pursuing this policy in the Europe desk, while I'm trying to do what I think is best for the national interest, but there's no money to be made in that. Epstein put into words
Bank. That's how our society's been running for a little too long, if you ask me. All right, that is what I was sharing with you on Instagram. A little bit of support in the chat over there for the wood chipper scenario to deal with these bad people. Wood chipper time. I might go against our Sixth Amendment. Which one is cruel and unusual punishment? Is it cruel and unusual to protect kids by having a proper punishment? I mean, you steal the innocence of something innocent, that should be the worst thing you can imagine. I don't know. I think there's certain things you can do where you sort of lose your humanity to the point where it doesn't matter what happens to you. Harming kids, it's got to be at the top of the list. All right, let's go to X. This is our Patreon right here. You can subscribe to us on Patreon, The New American Media, as little as $10 a month, or you could do 100 or 1,000 a month, because it's a great way to support us. And it's pinned for your pleasure, for your ease of use, right here at the top of American_media_ on X. All right, let's tell you about this story being reported by the Gateway Pundit. Philly police officers have filed federal class action lawsuit after being denied promotions for being white. Are you aware that this is happening and that this has been happening? The thing that they say is never happening. Guess what? It's happening again. And again and again and again and again. And they think this is progress. I assure you, it is not. We'll keep our eyes peeled on the class action lawsuit here in Philadelphia. Christopher Arnell says city of Philly being sued for allegedly denying promotions to 5 police officers because they're white. The city reportedly implemented a DEI promotion policy to increase representation at the expense of promoting white men. There's no DEI that can exist without discrimination. DEI. Discrimination. Every instance. Something like that. I want to work on that. Discriminate every instance. All right. Oh, check this out. Whoopi Goldberg erupts in pure panic mode after her own audience turned on her, erupted in applause when the guest said, "Stop politicizing." Well, here, let's watch the clip.
Like, this should be the least politicized story. Honestly, I was watching that final, the men's final, with 26 other million people, which is one of the highest ever rated for an Olympic sport, right? And and they were screaming with that win in overtime. It's a unifying moment for America. The women were invited to the State of the Union. They're going to come to the White House.
Yeah, but he
Should
insulted
Kash Patel
them.
have been there? No, it was a terrible look. But
wait a second.
well, the
Trump
women have-
insulted the women, and that's why
it
they
was
didn't
a
come.
celebratory joke. I don't know. I'm not going to excuse that.
It's a
but
joke.
But I think that
We've
this,
got to
like, we
stop
shouldn't
giving him a
politicize
pass.
everything.
We've got to stop
Okay.
giving him a
Hockey.
pass on joke. Here's what's that behavior. We're not giving it any more attention because we'll be right back.
Oh, she's so angry. Shouldn't politicize everything. It's just
But I think that
We've
this,
got to
like, we
stop
shouldn't
giving him a
politicize
pass.
everything.
We've got to stop
Okay.
giving him a
Hockey.
pass on joke. Here's what's that behavior. We're not giving it any more attention because we'll be right back.
Like, this should be the least politicized
I
story.
want to hear from
Honestly,
the half.
I was watching that.
Wait a second.
Well, the
Trump
women have-
insulted the women, and that's why
it
they
was
didn't
a
come.
celebratory joke. I don't know. I'm not going to excuse that.
It's a
but
joke.
But I think that
We've
this,
got to
like, we
stop
shouldn't
giving him a
politicize
pass.
everything.
We've got to stop
Including
giving him a
hockey.
pass on joke. Here's what's that behavior. We're not giving it any more attention because we'll be right back.
We're not going to give it any more attention. We'll be like, yeah, there was nothing terrible about that. He was shouting out the ladies' team during the. President Trump was shouting out the ladies' team during the men's moment. That's a good thing. That wasn't a slight to the ladies. It was an invitation of the ladies. Thank you for debunking this stupid leftist hatred of Team USA hockey team. The left truly are deplorable. Vote every Democrat out of office everywhere. All right, U.S. Attorney D.C. tells us this. Yesterday, Gerald Eddie Brown Jr., 65 years old. Have you heard of this guy? Former U.S. Air Force officer and pilot arrested in Jeffersonville, Indiana, and charged by criminal complaint for providing and conspiring to provide unauthorized defense services to Chinese military pilots in violation of the Arms Export Control Act. According to the complaint, since August of 23, Brown willfully conspired with foreign nationals to provide combat aircraft training to pilots in the Chinese Air Force, known as the People's Liberation Army Air Force, PLAAF. This training was a defense service under the International Traffic in Arms Regulations, ITAR, and Brown lacked the required license from the State Department's Directorate of Defense Trade Control to provide that training to foreign persons or foreign military units. Arrested and charged, providing defense services to Chinese military. Strange story. Keep your eyes peeled. Of course, check out yesterday's show that Democrats in legacy media and academia loathe America. Don't let them win. James Woods asks, imagine how strong our country would be if Congress spent their days working for the people who elected them instead of the people who buy them. All right, this is the weird story out of Cuba. Pretty strange one here. So this is from the Cuban embassy in the United States posting this. On the morning of February, this is a note from the Ministry of Interior. On the morning of February 25, 2026, a violating speedboat was detected within Cuban international waters. Cuban territorial waters. The vessel, registered in Florida, United States, with registration number, etc., approached up to 1 nautical mile northeast of the El Pino Channel in Cayo Falcones, in the Corralillo municipality, Villa Clara province. All right. When a surface unit of the border guard troops of the Ministry of Interior carrying 5 service members approached the vessel for identification, the crew of the violating speedboat opened fire on the Cuban personnel, resulting in the injury of the commander of the Cuban vessel. Okay. As a consequence of the confrontation, as of the time of this report, four aggressors, this is small. I need to make this a little larger. 4 aggressors on the foreign vessel were killed and 6 were injured. The injured individuals were evacuated and received medical assistance. In the face of current challenges, Cuba reaffirms its determination to protect its territorial waters based on the principle that national defense is a fundamental pillar of the Cuban state in safeguarding the sovereignty and ensuring stability in the region. Investigations by the competent authorities continue in order to clarify the events. So, distilling that, Cuban Coast Guard opens fire on a Florida-registered speedboat after it entered Cuban territorial waters, killing 4 people, injuring 6 others, according to Cuba's Ministry of the Interior. The vessel was intercepted amid claims of shots fired from the boat in defensive response. They said it was a stolen.
Aboard. Mark Caputo had the scoop and
stolen. 4 dead, 6 injured. Citizen dead. Another injured. Rubio's State Department. Rubio's State Department wants access to the 6 injured to find out what happened. Yeah, I want to find out what happened. I mean, were they just out there fishing and they thought they were getting attacked, so they shot first? I don't know. But Cuba's definitely on the list of FAFO, along with Venezuela, Iran, Mexico. You're seeing a lot of stuff happening right now. Cuba says the boat that opened fire was carrying Cubans who were living in the U.S., trying to infiltrate the island and then unleash terrorism. I don't know. Let's see if we find out anything more about this story. Unusual Wales reports that there's now more home buyers over the age of 70 than under 35. That's terrible. Gen Zers and millennials are swimming in student debt and may never own homes, but they're splurging on gut-healthy juices and rotisserie chickens, per Wall Street Journal. Raven says, it sounds like you're splurging on rotisserie chickens. You need to switch to bananas and rice to get your spending under control. Bananas and rice. If you know, you know. New York Times writes that the birth rate is plunging, but why some say that's a good thing. The political class is worried about the historic drop, but the biggest change is among the youngest women who are the least ready to have children. Katie Miller says the United States birth rate is down by more than 25% since 2007. That is anything but a good thing. New American Media writes, this is an existential crisis for America. End the Fed so our money has value again. Make it easy for us to have one parent work while the other raises and teaches our children. It's an easy formula. John Thune, according to John Solomon, rules out changing the filibuster as other Republicans double down on changing the process. Make it happen. Get it done. Save the country. Tim Burchett says, pass the Save America Act, and then let's talk about some term limits. Look at this.
For McConnell, can you give us some information on why you blocked the SAVE Act, or any information on your thoughts on what Rep. Tim Burchett said about staffers running your office? Any comments, sir? For McConnell.
I mean, this dude is being Joe Biden, walked on puppet strings. Blank, vacant stare. It's like he can't even comprehend what's being asked. We need term limits. These people are paid off and don't make their own decisions, says Wall Street Apes. Very, very, very bad idea. There simply have to be term limits. Mickey Way says, I would say at this moment, Leader John Thune is the most hated and despised man in the GOP. His inept leadership in passing the SAVE Act will go down as an epic disaster. Pass the SAVE Act or resign and leave some dignity to the party. Far left mayor of Grand Rapids demands we start public shaming gun owners. If you have a gun, you got to be ashamed of yourself. You should be. James Wood says, "Dear dickhead, how about if we have several guns?" That might be the only appropriate reply there. Enoch Burke shows a battalion of Guardiai in court this week to arrest and imprison Enoch Burke's mother and sister. Enoch Burke has now spent 600 days in prison after refusing to use they-them pronouns for a single child. You can't be plural if you're one. That's insane. They're going to try to force you to do that. Enoch Burke's constitutional right to free profession and practice of religion has been constantly trampled by the High Court judiciary. Guardiai expected an order from Judge Brian Cregan on Wednesday to arrest and imprison Martina and Ami Burke. Instead, Cregan will give his ruling on Wednesday next week. Meanwhile, drugs are traded openly on the streets of Dublin and criminals walk free. Great. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg has dropped the assault charge against 27-year-old West African Gus Main Coulibaly, who threw ice balls at New York Police Department officers. You need to remove Alvin Bragg. This is insane. This guy was also indicted for robbery 3 weeks ago, but is once again freed. Why are you bringing in West African robbers to throw ice balls at NYPD officers? Anyone? I don't understand what's happening. Most normal people don't. Wall Street Apes has this post here talking about how Christianity has been chased out of public schools, and now they're providing free taxpayer-funded halal meals to Muslims to take home during Ramadan. They chase Christian prayer out of schools, and they support this stuff. National Conservative says Hope Cartwright was 23 years old and the associate editor of Virginia Living magazine, then was brutally massacred in Richmond. Police say Letitia Coleman struck Cartwright at a crosswalk, dragged her body down the road, and then drove over the body to get away and flee. I wish I didn't have to tell you that story. New York judge says Second Amendment doesn't exist in this courtroom in a ghost gun case. She literally said, don't even bring up the Second Amendment. It's not a thing here. The judge gave a guy 10 years for making guns at home. That's not justice. That's unconstitutional. This judge must be disbarred and that person should be released. Loudoun, Virginia's Countryside Public School hired James Anderson, who identifies as a trans woman named Jamie. He's a mental health counselor for elementary kids. Parents were given no notice. This podcaster and radical trans activist was hired. Oh my God. C3 says Trump is the only president in history that's had recess appointments blocked by his own party, McConnell and Thune. Think about that. They hold 2-minute pro forma sessions every few days during vacations to block recesses appointments. Why? It's sickening. My God. It's just time to remove McConnell and Thune. Legally. Ian Jager says, Megan Rapinoe talks about how she would have never let FBI Director Kash Patel in the locker room to celebrate after winning gold at the Olympics. She's just the absolute worst. Blah, Rapinoe. The soccer lady. What is this? Wall Street Mav says, I've been informed by a source that Senator John Curtis is freaking out with all the negative attention he's getting. If the Republicans would put the SAVE Act on the floor of the Senate and force the votes, he would probably cave and vote in favor. But he's not. Senator John Curtis of Utah. Why is the SAVE Act dead in the U.S. Senate? He is on paper a Republican, but in reality was a Democrat for many years and merely ran as a Republican to get elected in Utah. He was the Mitt Romney replacement in Utah. Ah, shit. What is wrong in Utah? It's rotten in Utah. Well, here's a white Democrat who claims voter ID laws are going to be a problem. And then a black woman has the perfect response here on Will Cain with Fox.
An act like the SAVE Act is very likely more aimed at voter suppression and at keeping key demographics that the Republican Party does not want voting to not show out and vote. I think very often minority demographics.
That's not true.
So this is the thing where
That's
the
not true.
suggestion is it's going to keep the black vote down. I've got 2 black panelists here. Ajwa?
That's not
Do you have ID and proof of citizenship?
Yeah, and if I need a copy of my birth certificate, it's just a matter of going online or going up to the department and asking for it and showing my information to get it. I mean, to say that it would negatively affect a minority group because they're somehow not educated enough to get these documents is completely outrageous.
Annie?
You just got to point and laugh. They're so crazy. John Root just points out Team USA men's team was supportive of the women's team from the moment Trump made the joke on the phone call. Players yelled absolutely when Trump mentions the women's team coming with them to the White House and proudly yelled 2 for 2, celebrating their gold medals. Liberal media and fans claiming the men are misogynists and should apologize for laughing are off their rockers. It's a total non-story blown wildly out of proportion, like almost everything else they do.
And we have to, I must tell you, we're going to have to bring the women's team. You do know that.
Absolutely. 2 for 2.
I do believe I probably would be impeached, okay?
I mean, it's so many non-story stories. Here's a retired professor. What does the professor say?
I have
in Warren, Michigan.
Ordered a high-power ATL 36X arriving shortly, which I hope to actually use to shoot the President of the United States. I'm not kidding. This is a
holy shit.
Mr.
Arnold.
A very high, powerful item, and it's great for a headshot at a distance.
What the fuck?
And I didn't want it to be delivered by drone because I wouldn't want something like that to be in the wrong hands. That's it. Thank you. I have.
Yeah. That guy needs to be arrested. That is nuts. John Birch Society reminds us that this document from 1975 reminds you they keep claiming there's 10 to 12 million illegal aliens living illegally in this country. They've been claiming 10 to 12 for 40 years. So when I say 40 million, that is a low estimate. A low estimate. Senate GOP had time to pass a resolution for the dog parade this month, but they refused to bring the Save America Act to the floor for a debate. Can you believe that? Americans across the nation say, hey, can you please secure our elections? Senate Republicans say, well, the best we can do is a dog show. Late stage empire stuff right here. Late stage empire stuff. Polymarket, breaking President and CEO of the World Economic Forum, Borje Brende has resigned due to the Epstein files. Borje Brende resigns because of the Epstein files. Thomas Massey claiming some credit here. CEO of World Economic Forum resigns. You're welcome. Because you pushed to get those released. Rupert Lowe, MP, says, I've just watched a video from some unwashed left-wing influencer claiming that Restore Britain wants to remove 1 million people over a period of 5 years. I want to make our response really clear because this is just blatant misinformation. We'll deport far more than that. Nick Sorter reports, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, oh yes, the illegal MS-13 gang member from El Salvador, has once again been allowed to freely walk out of a federal courthouse. An activist judge has shielded him from ICE custody. Democrats have a human trafficker walking free. U.S. Attorney says reasonable assumption that the suspect who shot at Border Patrol decided to transition genders. Yet again. Ilhan Omar, with the quote here from Brandon Straka, it says, quote, Ethiopia and Kenya stole our land. We must work together to liberate our occupied territories. Somalia is for Somalia only. Out of Ilhan Omar's mouth, allegedly, from this. I think she's speaking in Somali here.
garab istaagteen madaxweynaheena istaagno.
Oh, I like James Carville's message for Ilhan Omar, though.
Lady, why don't you just get out the Democratic Party? Honestly, start your own movement. All right, let's do the simple math. Probably 69%, I don't know, we could call Jim Gerstein or Jeff Garrett. Roughly 69% of the people going to vote in November, maybe more. Let's do 70 for just round math, are going to be white. Of that, 48%, maybe a little more, are going to be male. So that's roughly, let's just call it 33 1/3% of the entire election. Well, let's just run against them because that's so goddamn smart. All right. So now we're going to have a campaign by the progressive left against white men who vote about 1/3 of everybody that votes in an election. Why don't you, lady, start your own party? And then when it's over, if you want to caucus with the Democrats, fine. We agree with a lot of things that you do, but we don't believe we ought to be running against white men. In fact, we don't think we ought to be running against any gender, any ethnic group, any race, any religion, or anything else. God damn, these people are just helpless. They cannot be helped. There's nothing you can do to help them. They don't want to be helped. And if they had any guts, they'd start their own goddamn political party and get out of ours.
Not to give any Democrats advice, but they need to kick the crazy people out and get back to some of that Bill Clinton mid-90s stuff. I can't believe I'm saying something like that out loud. Not to give them any advice, but they're never going to win, especially when you stop the cheating. They'll never win anything anywhere again. I mean, it's sort of that obvious. Ilhan Omar, according to Defiant Els, says that Somalis who don't support them should be expelled. We need to get rid of these people. We can't move forward as Somalians as long as these people live among us. Huh. So now people who vote against their interests need to get out. So interesting. Zero self-awareness, it seems. And that is the extent of what I wanted to share with you today. Thank you all so very much for being here. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up button. We appreciate that. Everybody, please make sure you jump on Instagram and follow The New American Media. And if you have a chance, scroll back and like some of our old posts. We have thousands of them. A lot of them are really good. And drop a few comments, because I notice when we start getting more comments, we get more organic follows. That's what we need. We've hit like glass ceilings on a lot of these accounts. We need to kind of break through this somehow, bust through the algorithm. That kind of just keeps us stagnant, trying to do better than that, trying to grow. So we'll have some things coming up, opportunities to grow. So stay tuned. And yeah, we'll plan on being back Monday at noon, unless we do a special show on Sunday. So stay tuned. We'll see how it goes. Thank you all so very much for being here. Final reminder, you can subscribe to us on Patreon, at least the free account. Everybody sign up for the free one. You must do that. That is my directive. You must. And if you're feeling super generous and awesome, you can sign up to be a paid member. That's like $10 a month on Patreon, or there's a $100 option or a $1,000 option. All appreciated. You can subscribe to us for Rumble and YouTube, as well as drop a Rumble rant and a super chat. One day left, today and tomorrow, to see where we can land on our YouTube rankings. We get to rank them by month. And so we are no longer the lowest month. We're the second lowest. We're about 15 or so away for a super chat there to get past that next monthly barrier. But now we have analytics, and that's because of you. That's because of the audience out there, the millions of views, the thousands of subscribers and followers, and the people that care. You matter. You're so appreciated. Part of me thinks I would do this anyway. If 0 people were watching, I would still do it. But just knowing that there are people out there that support what we're doing, help us grow, tell your friends, It's all just, it's bonus. It's all just, it's super appreciated. That's what I'm getting at. Thank you to everybody out there. Make sure you follow us on every platform that we exist on. And I guess TikTok's coming soon. That'll probably be a next week thing. So stay tuned. Gotta grow. And we're going to try some new things. So buckle up, Buttercup. Signing out on behalf of everybody out there in the TNAM universe. Happy weekend, everybody. I appreciate you. I love you. And we'll talk to you again soon. Take care. Peace.
Your guide to the truth. TheNewAmericanMedia.com.